fight the greatest battle, you need the greatest warriors. But heroes must be forged in ultimate combat, competing for the ultimate prize.
To start the show, ladies and gentlemen. A brand new cinematic there showcasing just a little taste of the fun that you can have inside Arena of Valor. That being said, welcome to our penultimate Arena of Valor non-pro tournament week before we head to our grand final at DreamHack Winter next weekend, where $100,000 will be on the line. Today we have two teams, Germany and Spain, from our six from across the world, ready to battle out and find out who reigns supreme on the Antares battlefield. I will be your stage host and interviewer for today. My name is Parla, but for now let's head over to Rene and our guys on the desk.
Thanks, Paula. Welcome to the only desk that matters. It's week 5 of the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament. My name is Rene Butler, and I'm joined today by Andromeus, Guti, and the professor of Arena of Valor, Envision. Great to have you guys.
Well, really happy to be here for this awesome match against France and Spain. And let's see what happened today.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here, and I think, well, we're going to support Spain.
Slightly biased today, both from Spain. Envision, you need to be the one cheering for France then.
Yeah, France. I'll be cheering for France since the analyst desk is mostly Spain here, but it's absolutely fantastic to be back at week 5 and to see who will actually qualify for the DreamHack.
That's true. We have France versus Spain here in week 5. But before we dive into that, I would to remind you guys about the Twitter poll. So head over to Twitter and vote for your winner. Will it be Spain or will it be France? And to get you up to date with what happened last week, here's the recap.
The pullback from the Spaniards means that they are going to lose their high ground tower, and this team fight is not looking good at all for Team Spain. The core dive is good, and Germany is going to win! Team is forcing the push. They have minions. This is going to be a middle side tower. Already 4 members down for the Germans. They might lose the game right here. Spain is going to push this Nexus. Can Trimax defend the tower? With Zach going in, it's not going to matter. That's going to be a Nexus. And just like that,
week 4 saw splitting the points between Germany and Spain. It was Germany taking the NP match and Spain taking the Internet Celebrity match, bringing an end to a big streak of Germany with not losing a single game.
Well, I think it's going to be really hard to beat German. They have one player better than the rest of the tournament. So, well, I think Spain have to work hard if they want to win this game.
Yeah, I think so, because maybe Spain prepared very good this match. We'll see what happens, but I'm very chill in this situation, because I think that Spain can be very powerful in this match.
And Vision, let's talk a bit about that impact on that streak. We know that Germany lost that match with Spain taking on the influencer side. We didn't saw them before in the arena, so we didn't know what to expect and how strong they are. Can they overcome France as well?
Yeah, I think they honestly can, because they look so strong, and going up against Germany was definitely showing that they are capable of actually beating one of the strongest teams in this tournament right now, even if it is the internet influencer match. But I think that still helps, and I think it's going to be a good showing here from the Spanish influencer side.
We will find out soon, but if you at home right now a bit confused about why there are 2 teams for every nation, how does that work? Don't worry, Paula will explain it.
Thank you very much, Renee. Let me give you guys a little explanation on exactly how the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament has worked out. So, we have 6 countries: Germany, Spain, Italy, France, the UK, and Sweden. These countries are then split up into 2. They have a non-professional side, so essentially people that are just living general lives, trying to go professional in this game and make this into a career. And then on the other side, we have our internet celebrities, already established personalities in the gaming scenes. Now, these 2 teams compete together for their countries and each earn separate points, scoring to the overall board at the end. Whoever comes out top 4 end up going to DreamHack next week to battle out for $100,000. And talking about that scoreboard, let's take a look. As you can see on screen, we have Germany on 18 points. As already mentioned, these guys have had a fantastic run, and I think the player being referred to on the desk was Dark Breaker, the jungler. He is absolutely insane. Underneath Germany sits Spain and Italy on 9 points each, and then underneath that we have France and Sweden on 6, and maybe unfortunately for me, we have the UK on the bottom on 3. However, things are still up for grabs, and it's not entirely certain who will be going to DreamHack Winter next week to compete for that share of $100,000. So, if you've just tuned in for the first time, you're in luck, because there is still a lot on the line. And talking about that, we also have giveaways running throughout the entirety of the stream. Keep an eye on the bottom and you'll see notifications about, for instance, skins. But what we have that's very big, also available to you guys, are 3 iPhone 8s and a brand spanking new iPhone X. Keep an eye on the bottom of the screen and the details will follow. That'll be it from me for now. Let's head back to Renee and get some more analysis.
Paula, excited over those phones, but there's even more to be excited about. You guys know how the schedule over here works. If you joined us before, if you joined us the other weeks already, you know it is the non-pro teams going at first. Then we have the highlights of the week, all the matches that have not been played here live in the arena. And then we have the internet celebrities, all the guys you love. You will see them in a match and they will try to score another 3 points for their country. Now that we have a little biased desk, a lot of Spaniards joining us today. Guys, tell us a bit about Arena of Valor in your country.
Well, it started really well. Many people is started to download it because we have a huge influencers playing. And well, I really like this game, and I hope it's going to become popular.
Yeah, as my friend said, I think that in Spain it's going to be a pretty good game for esports too, because it's something that we are trying to play, because nowadays we don't have something like this. And I think that Arena of Valor could be a very good opportunity to be a good game.
We know that Arena of Valor is big in other countries already, the Asian part, the international. You saw it, right?
Yes.
How was it?
It was absolutely amazing, the production, and the players there have had the game for a much longer time. It's absolutely fantastic, the show that they put on here, there, and it's been absolutely fantastic watching it. And I think the same goes for NPT, the amount of value that goes into this, the players coming in and playing in this arena, it's really great to see.
That means there's a lot of Arena of Valor content currently up for grabs more or less. If you want to watch Arena of Valor, you can watch the NPT, you can watch the Big Asian Championship. There's a lot to go for and a lot to play for. In our case, this is $100,000 we're doing over here, giving to the teams that will be the best at the DreamHack final. But to go to DreamHack, we actually need teams, so please welcome Spain and France.
I love Arena of Valor. This is my favorite game at the moment. This is really incredible to take a part of an international tournament. This tournament is for everybody. Everybody can participate and everybody can win this tournament, and we are really lucky to be here.
The non-pro tournament feels really well because it's pretty much amateur. We have some guys that were professional in other games, but it gives a chance to everyone to be a professional, so I guess this is a good option. We watched a lot of opponent games, and we matched Spain on scrims and on ranked games, so I guess yes, we're prepared for them. So sure, for DreamHack we surely want to win, because we have a high expectation from this roster, we worked hard, so yes, we want to win the game and to have the first place.
Enter NPT France, starting with Azure. Welcome, Redemption. Welcome, Boom. Welcome, Sutaro. And finally, welcome, Flow. This is NPT France.
My team, I think, is very united.
We are practically best friends now because we have been here in Poland for a lot of days.
I think we do a good tournament. We defeat UK and Sweden.
I think last week we played really well with Germany. Actually, I think they are one of the best teams in Europe. West is my favorite champion, so I have to say Batman is a really good champion. I really like his early game.
My favorite champion, I think, is Crest. Crest is my champion because he's identified like me. Now we are thinking in DreamHack because we get qualified for that tournament in Sweden.
I think the best part in the international tournament is the relationship with other teams, with other people from other countries. This is our last game, then we have to go to DreamHack. And I think it's gonna be a game without pressure for us.
Enter NPT Spain, starting with Jadunio. Enter Happy. Enter Lil. Enter Ray Zero. And finally, welcome to the stage, the beast. It's Chicketin. This is NPT Spain.
Chicketin's still smiling, but Andremis, I really think that would be hard for your team. You saw that sunglasses and hair game totally on point on the French side.
Yeah. I really prefer the Spanish version presentation because I'm from Spain, obviously. But well, it's quite interesting how they start the presentation with the sunglasses. Very mysterious, baby.
Well, I like more sunglasses stuff from friends this time. I'm like more friends.
Are they hiding any tactics behind those shades?
That could be true. Definitely a French side, the strongest side on paper right now. So there could be something behind those shades, but we'll have to see in the games that are coming up.
When we started the NPT, one of the first weeks, we talked about Happy playing Gract, bringing out the hooks. We had, and one of the highlights back then was like the major factor of Spain winning a match. Do you still think that's a key factor for them?
Yes, I definitely think it's a key factor if Spain wants to have a shot at taking down France, because Happy on Grok is one of the best players on Grok in the current tournament. So I think him on Grok is such a big danger to the opposition team that definitely denying that or taking it away will be a huge factor that French side needs to consider.
Could it be a ban? Like, do you think they rather go for a ban or will pick it themselves?
I think rather go for the ban is a smarter choice, because maybe you haven't practiced Grok as much. So I think banning it would be a wiser option.
We will find out soon, but before that, you guys know that we always send the teams for a bit of team building, and this time we want to find out if they can climb walls as fast as they climbed ranks in Arena of Valor.
We come here in Katowice to climbing, to an activity of sport climbing between Spain and France. And we get a really fair experience for us, because it's very high, the wall.
In climbing, you have good experience with your figures, because you need to be climbing using your figures. So when you're in game, you need some precision, and in climbing you need precision to climb properly. So that's pretty much the thing.
We had a really good tactic that was don't watch the floor and try to use look upside and get the grips really hard and just try to go up, up and up.
The similarity between climbing and the game is you discover the sport with your team, they are with you, and you learn together a new sport.
France is a team who is always focused, who is really hard to surprise them. And I think it's going to be a really hard match for us, but I think we are going to win this.
We just heard it. For climbing, you need precision, but that fall from the wall looked a bit like me trying to climb out of silver, right? I know that you love that. You're always like, you were still in silver, mate.
Yeah, that's true. It was a long fall, or not that long, because you weren't that high.
It's all about the effort, mate. It's all about the effort. But your team looked good out there.
What?
I said your team looked good out there on the wall. Like, they're dedicated and all that.
They look well until they fall, so let's hope they're not gonna fall today, so they can climb up to France.
Yeah, climb to up, yeah.
It could be France falling or Spain tripping over France and not getting the points in our first match. It's the non-pro teams of Spain and France going head-to-head, but before we have that, we need predictions, guys. So, what is it? 2-1, 2-0?
2-0, yeah.
For Spain?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, why should I ask?
Obvious.
I think 2-1. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
Definitely a long game, but I think France is gonna take it 2-0.
All right, just to make sure that there's a balance, Viva la France, and there we go. But for the match, and to see all the in-game action of Arena of Valor, I now give it over to the guys, the only caster duo that turns every single map into a blockbuster, Woody and then Chetan.
Thank you, Renee. I am in chatting. And Woody, it's a good thing they didn't fall off that, climb wall.
It sure is in chat, and of course, as you introduced me, I'm Woody from Reddit Alpha. they were holding on strong. And as we heard, those fingery skills are getting a lot better. I think that they had those fingers on the game most of the time for the past week. I've been hanging out a little bit with them, but looks like that has converted into quite a bit of practice recently. The ban pig process is already beginning in chat. And what do we have here?
We already have Zephy's being banned by Team France, and we're going to see Jorginho bans Murad
instantly.
Taking up the field.
Yeah, take him out. One of the quickest assassins in the game. Moves very fast, even warps the space-time continuum to get a few more stabs in there. It'll be the opportunity for the Frenchmen to make the first pick. They go for their first marksman, Violet.
Violet coming out. One of the strongest ADCs currently in the game, one of the marksmen. It's definitely going to be a power pick for Team France. Let's see how Spain answers. Looks like L'Oreal and Mina.
Fantastic mobility from Violet, but yeah, the heavy hitter L'Oreal over here, our mage on the Spanish side, is going to be backed up out in front by Mina. Much bigger tank, but still lots of damage coming in from the French team. We've got Zill now. He can hit pretty hard as well, and Scud, the big Fist of Doom, as I call him. Yeah, he's going to be working hard for the Frenchmen as well. Who we got over here on the next side for the Spaniards?
We got Airy and Kresh. Going to be a very, very strong pick, the Kresh. I was talking to Chickadin, and it's one of his favorite champions, and I know he wanted to play that today, so it's great that he's going to be able to play that. We're going to be able to see.
No, Zero stole crashed.
They're going to swap.
They're going to swap. They're going to swap. They're going to trade phones? Okay, fair enough. Well, the last pick over here, our mage out from Flow, and then followed up quickly by Jorginho's marksman pick. He's going to go with Tellanis. I'm kind of surprised, to be completely honest, that we didn't see our new hero Morin. You were saying that he was an amazing marksman and quite tanky at that as well.
Yeah, but I feel like it's only been a couple of days since he's been released, so you're not really that comfortable on a champion, especially in a high-pressure situation. You want to know everything your champion can do and what he can't do, every single interaction between each and every one of the heroes in the game, and you just don't have that amount of time yet for Morin currently in the meta.
The Chief Knight Thane will be the tank for the Frenchmen. I see that we've got a pretty interesting skin here. It's from the second season of ranked matches, so you know that Azure, the tank on the French team, has been playing for quite a long time now. They're getting ready, though, gearing up, getting comfortable, cracking their knuckles. Do you like to crack your knuckles in chat? Does that get you
I don't.
Ready?
I don't.
No?
But you know what I do? I stretch up, I stand up, I stretch up, and I also make sure, wipe the sweat from your hands, because you are playing a mobile game, you need to get all the grease and the sweat and everything, off your hands.
Where's the grease come from?
I don't know. Maybe you had lunch. These players, just had lunch, and you got to make sure.
You have a very greasy lunch.
Yeah.
In chatting?
That chicken, You
love chicken, huh?
Beautiful. Beautiful chicken. Actually, the beef. Amazing. A little ham in there, had a little pepper, onion. It was
my
magnificent.
mouth is watering.
Unbelievable.
Well, I know that these guys are going to be cooking us up a pretty dish. Just about ready to hop into the first game of the first match. This is a best-of-3 series in chatting, so remember, these teams have to get 2 game wins to be able to take the series overall. The fact that they're tied right now on that leaderboard means that this match is extremely important. The very final non-pro combat that's going to be taking place in this tournament, since it is the 5th week, until we go to DreamHack, where the finals will be determined. $100,000 on the line.
Yeah, the top 4 countries will be playing in DreamHack, and currently, as you saw in the standings, this matchup could mean a lot. It could be who comes in 4th, who comes in 3rd and 2nd, which is going to be huge in the standings because you don't want to face Germany.
Looks like we have the hero lineups available for you on screen. Once again, Thane, Violet, Illumia, Zill, and Scud. Over on the left, the red team has got Tellanis, Mina, Airy, L'Oreal, and Kresh, as we said. Oh, look, Chiquitin got Kresh after all.
That he did, the
Spanish
side.
I thought that it was ReZero who got Kresh. I got mixed up there.
The swap.
Yeah, it was a quick swap.
They got you. Well, let's get right into match number 1, Spain, France.
In 5 seconds.
Non-pro teams.
I'm ready for it. Sutara and Flo making their way up into the top jungle on the blue side.
Look at that Scud skin. That's gorgeous.
Scud skin, huh?
Scud skin.
That sounds gross for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why.
I think I know where you're going with that.
They're hiding in the bushes here. Speaking of that, they're in the bushes, so they can't be seen by their opponents whenever they're in the bushes like that. ReZero takes an early hit from Moon. Lumia getting a nice little stab over there on the right side. Up onto the top lane, though, what have we got here in chat?
We got a little Chickadin versus Flow matchup, Crest versus Scud. Not really going to be too much going on there. Neither of those champions really going to get a kill early unless, you know, the jungle comes in and shows his presence on the top side. So we're going to take a look at the bottom, you know, just farming up.
Yeah.
And look at that, little damage there from Scud.
Get back, Chickatine. Got to be careful there. Crest is absolutely terrifying whenever he uses his ultimate, but until then, he's just this little Murloc running around. Brr. He's a little frog dude. He got a little spear on top of it. All right, Judinio and Happy in the bottom, though, not having too much difficulty. Whoa, Happy gets a nice pull in there, getting a little bit of damage against Azure. He gets the charge onto Happy and goes in for a little bit of damage, but it looks like he's going to pull back now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he went in there, and Judinio put the pressure on him. You know, it took him down about a third of his life. Red going to try to get... Ooh, there it is, a little vision.
Little sight orb for the French team over there, and as the minions creep away, we're going to have them move up into the middle. 3 of the French players in the middle right now, kind of running all around, not really making much of a connection just yet, but going for positioning here. Interesting that Sutaro's already at level 4, been working that jungle hard, and the French players are going for the Spirit Sentinel early on. That gives them a nice hit point buff. They'll regenerate some of their health over the course of the next minute or so.
Yeah, Flo and Chickadin just continuing to just trade on the top, just kind of farming up. Chickadin has no problem just hanging out by his tower and just tower farming.
No commitment by either of these teams. It's getting awfully close, though. All 4 in the middle here. We've got a couple of the blue team players going down to the bottom lane. Better be careful if you're France here. You definitely do not want to be outnumbered in a fight this early in the match.
No, you don't. Red and Azor on the bottom lane for French. Mina misses the hook. Happy not level 4 yet, so can't taunt Azor in there so that Judinio could finish it off. And it's going to be very interesting. Once Happy gets that level 4, gets that ultimate taunt, Lil can come down, they can get a couple of kills, and let's see if they go in.
Nope, an advantage for France early on as 3 players on the bottom from the Spanish team try to prevent them from stabbing up. But as you said earlier, that level advantage is really important in the early game. You get your ultimate unlocked at level 4, but hold on, there's a big action going on in the center here. Azure is in a lot of trouble as he's about to get caught. First blood as Ares snipes down Violet, and Azure's in a lot of trouble. Goes in for the counterattack to try to take Happy out, but it looks like he's going to have to retreat once again. Moon going into support. Azure dashes back.
Yeah, Judinio trying to survive. Illumia not going to be able to connect. Zero going to come save his team, and they will get out.
They lost Mina in the process, but it looks like the Spaniards will be able to pull back well enough. Violet got the kill there, and it's a 1-1 draw right now between France and Spain. Relatively even, although I got to give France a little bit of an advantage here. They've been working that jungle a little bit better. 7.6k gold, you see, up about half 1,000. And they take down Abby first. Abby, the Abyssal Dragon, taking a lot of damage in the center here. Can Chickatine finish it off? No! France gets the first dragon.
Illumia takes care of the Abyssal Dragon. Chickadin going in here. Is he going to be able to take out Sutaro, or is he going to lose his life? Oh, Violet with the snipe. Is she going after her? Oh,
ReZero is so low.
Gets away. Is Azor going to fall, or is it going to be Zero?
Gets the
Looks
kill,
like they both
but France is in a lot of trouble. Look, Spaniards are going wild trying to finish off Red. They take the tower dive and they're going to soak a little bit of damage, but getting that kill is so important. Up on top, however, though, Flo is uncontested, starting to chop away at this tower. He's got a little bit of minion support in there, but he might need to pull back. I don't know if he's going to get a chance to wipe this thing out. Is he going to be able to do it after all?
It's going to be really close. Oh, he walks back as Chickadin comes to defend the tower.
Good call there. There's no need to die early on. Even if you're trying to get a little bit of tower damage in there, you can wait for the next push to finish that thing off.
Yeah, Chickadin gonna just hang out by his tower here. As Spain only about 400 gold behind, no big deal early on. Flo trying to get that early tower. As France rotating towards the Spirit Sentinel, they will clear this, no problem.
Chickadin's got to be really careful here. He's got 3 blue heroes right next to him. Well, it looks like Zill's pulling back, but it still was almost about to be a 2v1. Uh-oh, looks like Illumia is not going to engage in the fight either, and Flo left flat-footed. I think he thought he had a little bit more support back there. Goes for the Vision Owl there, but not getting it. Meanwhile, Lil continuing to farm in that jungle, grabs a Golem, and will return to the river in the middle.
Yeah, Flo and Chickadin just kind of just exchanging, you know, blows here back and forth. Not really going to be too much deaths going on the top lane with those 2, you know, tanky units on the top side. Looks like Zero going to just hang out in that middle side brush.
All waiting for the Abyssal Dragon to respawn here. A little bit of an attack, though, when Illumia is caught in a bad trap. Finishes her off, and that's going to be another kill for the Spaniards. Can ReZero get out of here, though? Sutaro's taking a lot of damage. Zill finishes her off.
Yes, Zil just took care of business, got the double kill really early. Judinio trying to peel back, and they do, but losing 2 members. Lil and Zero fall to Sutaro.
Whoa! Happy takes a huge hit, but still manages to walk away. Not unscathed, though. She's going to have to get back and recall. I guess Happy's technically a dude. I'm talking about Mina here in the game, but Sutaro takes a little bit of damage. He's going to survive, though. Zil once again on retreat.
There it is, Flo coming down with Chickadin as well, but Chickadin really can't do much. Is he going to go for the flank? Flo sitting in the brush. He might get caught out here, though.
Middle tower torn down. The Spanish team is in a lot of trouble. Look at that big gold advantage that France has now. Over 2,000 on top. They've already taken down the middle tower and are doing a lot of work up on top. You saw Flo almost finish that thing off. He might need just one more push to get the kill. What's going on the center here in chatting?
Yeah, it looks like Chickadin, Zil, and Happy are just having a little skirmish here, but with, you know, those tanky units, they're not really going to do much. The Spanish side coming down as a disengage happened from Azor.
It seems every time I'm watching these matches that Spain is ahead in kills, but somehow just behind in the game overall. They lose towers, they give up dragons, they don't get the objectives that they need, even though they win team battles most of the time and can get some great stabs in if the French players aren't grouped up well enough. But RE0's in a lot of trouble. A 3v1, trying to go for the retreat, but not able to pull it off here.
Yes, Zil's going to get the double, and he's going to go all the way to the Abyssal Dragon. This is going to be a huge fight for the French side.
Lil retreats, but unfortunate. Eri tried to get a little bit more work done on that dragon, but couldn't get either a kill or the dragon down. In fact, wound up dying himself. And with that second dragon on the French side, that's a 5,000 plus gold advantage as Flo knocks down the second tower in the top lane up to the high ground now.
Yeah, just like that, 4 members fall and the Abyssal Dragon all go to France. And now that 2,000 gold lead now turns into more than 6,000.
This seems like an oppressive lead for the French right now. They got a few more kills to make up the deficit that they had earlier against Spain. But what can Spain do to turn this thing around right now? It seems like grouping up is their best strategy, and that's what they're going for. All 5 in the mid lane right now. If they can crush a good 5v3 team fight, that might be very helpful for them. Looks like Red and Azure are going to join the fight, though, and the French are ready to respond.
Yeah, Chicken, it doesn't have his ultimate yet, and the French team know that. Flo going in. Zil getting already a kill on Mina. Flo trying to kill down Little over here, but look at this. Zero is going to get eliminated, and Lil, is he going to be able to survive with a little bit of health? He is, but once again, the French team doesn't lose a single member.
Such an impressive performance. They all took a little bit of damage there, but none of them go down.
Are they going for the Dark Slayer?
Triple kill for Zil.
They're going to be going for an 8-minute Dark Slayer. This is really early, and I just don't think Spain can really answer this.
It's a very aggressive move by the French team, but they're pretty high level. I guess they can back it up, given that they just got 4 of the Spaniards down, and with that, they're going to have the Dark Slayer buff. That means that they get 90 seconds of a huge damage and hit point regenerating ability. Sutaro's not even going to be recalling here. He's at half hit points, but he says, you know what? We're going to get all of it back soon enough. Spirit Sentinel stacked on top of this means that he's going to be nice and healthy for the next fight.
Yeah, and that's the second time they've come out of a skirmish gaining an extra 4,000 gold on the Spaniards, and now it's over 10,000.
Spanish still in it, though. They've got to find some way to turn this thing around. They play really well in the late game, but I feel like they're just at such a deficit right now that it would really take a miracle to make this happen. Lil giving up a golem in the top. The jungle turning blue by the minute. There's nothing for the Spaniards to do right now in chatting.
No, another Abyssal Dragon goes to the French, and they are just slowly increasing and starving Spain out as they just continue the gold lead, and another tower going to fall. Spain can't even answer this push that France has. Now we're looking at almost 12,000 gold lead, and I mean, they just got to stay in their base and hopefully pray that France makes a mistake. There's not really much that the Spain can do at this point. But France is just going to play back, continue to clear out their jungle, continue to starve them.
The Marquis de Sade incarnate on the French team as they choke the Spaniards. This mid lane not looking fine at all, even though that they have the high ground. The Spanish seem to be at a big disadvantage, and the bottom tower is getting sieged as well. It's getting close to going down. Zil grabs a legendary as Kresh is defeated, and there's no tank left for the Spaniards to defend.
Yes, wow, Zil just went off, and that's going to be pretty much the game. Zill eliminated the entire team of Spain, and they're going to be able to easily take this core, and that was a dominating performance from the French. Did you see that coming, that dominating performance from the French? The entire game, pretty much, Spain kept around, in the early game, but then it just turned into, 4-for-1 kills, 4-for-0, and then all of a sudden it got to 4K, 10K, 13K gold advantage, and then it was just too much for Spain to be able to defend their high ground.
You're right, it was awfully close in the first couple of minutes there in chatting, but there was absolutely nothing to do once that snowball started rolling. The French oppression rained down hellfire on the Spanish team, and it seemed like there was nothing to do to be able to turn that around after around minute 7 or so. But I think that we've said all we have to say. Let's go back to the second most important desk in the cast. Renee, what have you got for us?
I guess we should discuss that about the most important desk after the show. We're not doing that right now, but we discussed something else. And that's the game we just saw, France taking the first win in our series here as a best of 3, obviously, so there's still a chance for Spain. But that was a pretty dominating performance. But before we dive into all the details about early, mid, and Vision, tell us a bit about Picks and Bans. What happened there?
Well, Picks and Bans went pretty as I kind of expected French side to go. It was really, when the Picks and Bans ended, I told you that the game's going to be over from the draft, because French got their really great heroes. Zill going to Sutaro, one of the most deadly Zill players in the Go 4 tournaments, showed absolute understanding of Zill. And even before the show, I had a chat with Sutaro. He was saying Zill is so strong. So I think definitely trying to deny those kind of heroes is one of the things that might, be for the Spanish side to do moving forward.
Early game, we saw the Spanish team actually being not out of the game at all, because they got all the kills. They made sure that they had the first kills, they won the fights, but all the objective went into the side of France. Is that something that your team concentrates on more, like fighting, instead of going for objective and control of gold?
Well, I think Spain failed in the Dragon team fights. They lost the 2 team fights too early. So I think they lost the game.
Yeah, maybe a big factor was the team fight loss, and also I think that maybe the gold difference between 2 teams was too big, and it will be the big difference for the final of the match.
Gold difference. I mean, we saw France starting Spirit Sentinel right after the spawn, then 340 they took the first Abyssal Dragon already, making sure that there's, as soon as possible, if there is something to grab for gold, they're up for it. Was that just the right tactic, avoiding fights as long as possible?
Yeah, I think for this game it goes, every kill needs to be turned into objective, or every fight needs to be turned into objective, and I think that's what the French side is so good at. And it showed once again, they took a fight, they won the objective, and then just basically snowball from that.
And we saw the French side not losing one of their Eiffel Towers into at least 6 minutes. They took 4 while Spain was on 1 then. Finally, they took a tower. Was there any chance for them to turn this around, just going for towers, trying to push and avoiding those team fights?
Yeah, I think definitely going into the mid-game phase, I think the Spanish side should have done a little bit more split pushing. We've seen it from time to time coming through, that the split push strategy has worked so well for the teams. But again, I'd have to say, French side Sutaro looked so strong in how he played the game. So I think he really took it on himself and carried his team.
Yeah, we have to say that Moon is obviously the MVP by the game, but Sutaro and Zill, that was just an impressive performance, getting double kills, triple kills, making sure he's always a threat to the Spanish team, no matter where they are on the map. Potential ban?
Yes, going into game 2, I would expect to be a ban.
We didn't saw Grak coming out from the Spanish team. We thought Happy will go for something with hooks. Why not? He was so good at it. Do they maybe need to go back to the stuff they do really good, concentrating on their match?
Well, I think in the draft they tried to save Crest for Chiquitin instead of Grak for Happy, so I think Happy should pick Grak.
Yeah, I totally agree with you in this occasion, yeah.
It is done for the first map, at least, as France winning over Spain. It was only map 1, but I need to remind you guys about something really, really cool, because if you lock into Arena of Valor daily, I mean, you should. If you're not, do it right now, because 26th of November, you get Superman for free, and he's finally joining Batman and Joker.
insane.
Too easy.
Daddy's home.
I am the knight. I am Batman.
Arena of Valor. Download and play now.
I fight for truth and justice.
Blood. Double kill.
Deeds make the man.
Arena of Valor. Download and play now.
That video is just a typical air guitar moment. But it's true. 26th of November, you can get that hero for free. You just need to log on into the game. That's not really hard. Everyone can do that. I should probably do it as well because finally some more heroes. And it's Superman joining. You know what's coming up next. Will be a break, 4 minutes, as we normally do. But instead, we thought you guys could learn something about a new hero coming to Arena of Valor. Being at Arena of Valor, it's Morin.
I was born ready. I'll fix you right up. Yeah. Blow it up. Blow it all up. Want to see my new toy?
Hi everyone, the hero we are introducing today is Morin. Morin is different as other squishy marksmen that need special protection. He can leverage his ability to boost dual defense to fight in frontline. At the same time, he can use passive lifesteal to enhance endurance. So come on, let's fight face to face. Passive Precision. Every successful attack and ability places a mark of protection on Morin. At 5 stacks, the cooldown for tactical maneuver is refreshed immediately, and Morin gains 12 to 26% lifesteal. Morin's major method to deal damage is to leverage his passive to refresh the first ability. Thus, pick items that increase his attack speed can help Mor to quickly gain 5 stacks of mark. First ability, Tactical Maneuver. Morin's movement speed is increased by 40% for 1.5 seconds. His next normal attack within 5 seconds fires 2 bullets, each dealing 25 physical damage. Morin also gains armor and magic defense for 5 seconds. These effects can be extended by successfully landing normal attacks up to 10 times. Morin's first ability makes the 2 bullets normal attack available for 5 seconds. This means before any fight, Morin can first activate Tactical Maneuver, and within 5 seconds, he can indeed fire it twice continuously. Second ability, Impact Barrage. Morin knocks back enemies and deals physical damage, also reduces enemy movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. Morin's only life-saving ability, use it only when it's needed. It should be used for knocking back close enemy targets and melting down their attack. Ultimate Magnetic Storm. Morin launches a magnetic grenade towards the target area. The explosion triggers a magnetic storm over 2.5 seconds, dealing physical damage 6 times to enemies in the area and reducing their movement speed by 50%. Enemies knocked into the storm by Impact Barrage are also stunned for 1.5 seconds. Magnetic Storm is recommended to get unleashed behind enemy target, then use the second ability to push enemy into the magnetic store and cause stun. This will be a cool combo. When playing Morin, here are some of the tips to remember. Morin is very efficient for cleaning monsters. The first ability can boost his dual defense. The passive can provide lifesteal. Both will help him gain extra endurance. So when there is no wave to clean, jungling is still not a bad choice. Morin doesn't have dash ability, so don't get caught. It's recommended to take Flicker as summoner skill. When facing the enemy alone, Morin can use the first ability to boost movement speed or use Flicker to teleport and get away. Morin's combat combo is use the first ability to quickly join the fight, unleash the ultimate, and use the second ability to push the enemy into the storm and stun him. At the end, use normal attack to complete the kill. The combo sequence is 1 plus ultimate plus 2. Thanks for watching today's episode. See you again next time.
Welcome back to week 5 of the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament. It's Spain versus France. We just saw the first match, went in favor of France, and now we need to figure out what needs to be different. We talked about the bans already, so potential ban could be Zill to change things around. What else could be done by Spain to take this to 1-1?
I think picking up Grok is a good start because Grok was open for pick, but they didn't actually choose it, which is kind of weird because Happy's Grok it's absolutely demolishes the enemy team. So I think picking up Croc is a good start for them, and just building from there. I think not letting Zill through or potentially picking it up themselves is a good strategy to have as well.
What else needs to change during the game? It's not only about pick and ban, we know that's important, but it's also about how you play your heroes in the game. What needs to be done differently by your team?
Well, I think Spain needs to go to the Dragon safer than the last match. They lost these two team fights, and they can file again at that, or they're gonna lose.
Yeah, probably maybe if in team fights they play better, more safer because they are playing a bit separated. Maybe if they focus in one hero and the other one, they could win all the team fights, I think.
How to avoid that early goal lead that we saw in game 1? How do you do that from the Spanish side?
I think when the French side go for the Whistle Dragon, if they do not have the numbers there to actually contest it, I think leaving it be and just split pushing up top or down bottom would be the wiser choice. Down bottom, of course, it's a riskier strategy because the Whistle Dragon is down bottom, so you have to be careful that the enemies don't just rotate into you, take more kills. So I think if they don't have the numbers to contest the objective, I think they should definitely split push and maybe get a tower, so the goal difference doesn't swing that much.
Let's assume France would pick Zill once again because Spaniards are not able to get that away from them or ban it because they go for something else. Is there a counter measure they could go for?
It's really hard to say because Zill is such a strong hero. I think a lot of CC would do it, but also you can't really fall behind in the early game because a lot of assassin junglers take the game from you if you fall behind early game. For example, best example is of Murad. Is if Murad doesn't get ahead early, then Murad doesn't become the dominant beast that we see constantly on Murad. So I think having a lot of CC and winning the early game is definitely a good start to counter Zill.
Winning the early game, that is an important part. But we will have a game on our hands, and we'll be once again Woody and Enchanted bringing you the action.
Thanks, Renee. Going to be an uphill battle for the Spanish side on this next matchup. They struggled a little bit into the mid-early game and then kind of got out of control there. What do you think that the Spanish side has to do to really, recuperate from like that mid-early game, dominance that the French put on?
That's a great question in chat, and I know that you saw the little birdie that flew in through the door during the break. He was whispering in my ear. His name was Castor Trid, by the way. He said that the problem that the Spaniards had in the last game was that even though they were doing a great job of coverage, going through the jungle, trying to find heroes, they were never really able to capitalize on the kills that they got. They didn't turn that into any tower kills. They never took the Abyssal Dragon at any point. And the French team, even though they weren't really spread out quite as much, they stayed on task. They were working together as a team, and they never got caught off guard in a really bad team fight. But we get the pick ban process starting here now. Zill getting banned by the Spaniards. Not looking forward to seeing him again. But Zethys is going to come out from the French team. The first pick is in, though. What have we got from the Spanish team?
Murad right off the bat from Judinio. He was not waiting on that. They left Murad up and they took it immediately. Mina and Violet, though, coming from the French side. Nice little tank action there. Violet,
I think they're sisters. Don't they kind of look like sisters?
They do actually look like sisters a little bit. They got that short hair going on.
Yeah, one out in front and one dealing damage from back behind. Over on the Spanish side, though, we've got two more ladies coming in. Happy picks the support hero Alice. Lil ST going for the mage again. And back on the French side, we've already got another pick. Batman is locked in for Sutaro.
Yeah, Batman is going to be in the jungle. And, Illumia as the mage. Oh, nope, a little swap at the end to the Raz. That is one of his favorite champions, so Raz coming out there. Not going to be a bad choice. And Valheim as the ADC.
Yeah. The ADC for the Spanish team. That means attack damage carry, of course. He's going to be able to dish out a ton of damage as the game goes on. Ormar, the warrior for Chiquitin, going full beast mode as we get our final pick from the Frenchman, Flo.
Let's see who they're going to be choosing as their top lane to go against the Omar.
Only time will tell.
Dun,
We
dun,
should
dun.
expect a warrior of some
Lubu.
sort, right? Yeah, it looks like Lube.
Oh, nope, Scud. Once again. Ooh, all right.
Both kind of function in a similar role. They're not super ultimate tanks, but they can take quite a bit of damage, especially Lubu since he's got that lifesteal ability. Scud, on the other hand, the Fist of Doom, once again, tore up that top lane in the last game that we saw. Flo could very well just take a couple towers this game and be in the same position. It's going to be up to the Spaniards to learn and adapt from that last loss and turn this thing around and try to get the reverse sweep in the best of 3 match.
Yeah, Scud did very well. Flo, he was 1-0-2 on him in match number 1. The weak point that happened was their Violet was 0-3-8, so she needs to get a little bit more kills if she wants to carry this towards the end of the match. Last game, though, unfortunately for the Spaniards, it never got there, so, you know, the carry wasn't really that big of a factor for the French side. When your whole entire team is winning, when you're already up 15,000 gold, it's almost impossible to stop that, no matter what.
You're just racing for MVP at that point. You're not even worried about getting the win.
Who's getting the MVP this game? Who's getting beers on me tonight?
Wait, he switched from the shades back to his normal glasses. I think he wants clear eyes this time. But the Spanish team, they look pretty relaxed. Yeah, clear eyes. You know, chatting.
I know.
Chiquitin with his legs crossed.
He's just relaxing.
Yeah.
Just relax. He's a massive dude. He's like 6'5".
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's like really tall in person.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you meet him, it's like Chiquitin.
Yeah.
And then you know
it's
why
like
he
right
plays
eye
like
level for me.
Yeah, that's when you see him play these big, beefy, you know, heroes. You understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chiquitin just hanging out
Is he
there.
the captain of the team? I know he's called himself the king of Spain.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he does talk the big game. You know, gets everybody in position, ready to go. And I mean, whoever is the captain of the Spanish side, their team fighting is amazing. What they need to do is get better objective control, taking down the towers and the Abyssal Dragons and even the Spirit Sentinel. But let's take a look at the Spanish side. We got Valheim from Judinio, Alice, Happy, Murad, Lil, L'Oreal, playing by Rezero, and Omar Chiquitin.
That's right, and Mina will be played by Azure. Violet is coming in from Redemption. Violet the Pilot, I should note.
Violet the Pilot.
Check out that skin over there. We've also got Sutaro playing Batman. Azure on Mina. Moon repping Raz. I think I already said one of those. We've got also Flo, of course, playing Scud in the top lane. He might be going bottom since we're switched up, though.
Ooh, all 10 players in the middle besides
They surely
Violet.
saw that.
Oh, what a pull! And Judinio gonna fall first as Lil gets away. So much damage coming out, but just like that, we already have a first kill from the French side.
Some tasty brie from the cheesy French players. They're going into the jungle as well. Diving deep and going for the Sage goal. Maybe. No, Happy and Chiquitin are willing to defend here. They can add on a little bit of help if needed, but Moon already at level 2 didn't even need to get any of those kills on the creeps. Wiping out the first opponent. First blood from the French.
Wow, that Azure MVP with that hook brings 2 in. And when you die that early, you know, it's a little bit of advantage already for France, especially with the momentum from that game number 1. That's not what you want to have, you know, to start out the game if you're the Spanish side.
Right, they're trying to turn it back around, though. It was kind of a disappointing start, but not devastating by any means. 2 Spaniards on the bottom. Laning, doing what they should. We got one jungler here, Murad, getting a little bit of experience, trying to catch up. He's going to have to go snipe a French player at some point, though, if they want to get this thing turned around and get the match score in their favor. It's almost a 1,000 gold differential already in just the first minute and a half.
Yeah, that first blood is, you know, a big deal when it happens within the first, 15 seconds of the game. Red trying to get it down. Oh, Murad coming in. He's just going to wisely walk away.
I'm thankful that Red is actually Red this time. He was on the blue team last time. It was a little bit of cognitive dissonance there calling Red.
Zora's blue.
Oh, yeah, Azure also. Azure is red now,
blue
though.
and red. Red going to come in here, get a little chip damage on Judinio. Happy. Gonna just sit here with the Elise.
Great range from that Violet shot. Whenever she uses her first ability, she gains a little bit of additional sight, can fire a little further, and gets a little stab onto the tower on the bottom there as you See, she's also been able to get some damage off against the other heroes. Flo in the center, dominant once again, rather up on top, excuse me.
Doing a lot of damage to Chickatin. Chickatin's at half life already. Azor Drake, look at this, the Abyssal Dragon.
Oh, she's taking a lot of damage. Abby has got no help from the Spaniards whatsoever, and the Frenchmen get the first dragon kill. That's a clear 1.5 plus gold advantage.
Yeah, once again, that's a great rotation from the French side, and the Spanish just have no answer for it. It's kind of exactly what happened in game number 1. Chickatin going in here. Whoa, L'Oreal's gonna get taken down. Little's gonna come in as well. Chickatin trying to survive here as Moon on that Raz.
You're not safe for a moment, even on your own side of the map. A stabbing here from the French players, get 2 kills. Looks like the Spaniards are gonna turn around and be able to take out Flo. But it was a big, heavy hit once again. A double kill now. And that's a second one go down. A
and it's
third!
a 3-for-1, just like that. A 3-for-1 trade in your own jungle, mind you. Everything going wrong for the Spanish side to start out this game. 3K gold lead to France.
Moon is reminding me a lot of the character from Legend of Zelda. Remember when he crashes into the earth? That is a nasty, heavy hit.
Looks like Batman roaming around the jungle trying to take the red buff. Michael going down here. Will's gonna pick that up.
It's kind of telling that we have to even report the fact that the blue players are able to just survive in their own jungle. France has been absolutely hammering them, and you can see a 2-level differential already in the top lane.
Yeah, Flo just dominating Chickatin. Chickatin came to help out in their jungle and lost it, and the Spirit Sentinel now going to go to France. Look at this objective control all game, Woody. France has dominated. The Abyssal Dragon down, the Spirit Sentinel down, and now they're going to kill Chickatin right underneath his tower, and Lil will fall as well, but they do pick up.
Azure fell on that one, yeah.
Oh, but Zero gets taken out now. Oh no, Murad gets that kill, and it's Snowball effect.
Sure is. The French team once again, in just these first 5 minutes, have shown that they are not going to be trifled with. The Spaniards in a lot of trouble as they've lost their first tower now. Once again on the top lane. Going for the Abyssal Dragon, the second one. Abby cannot catch a break this game.
Is she gonna get taken out? Chickatin, is he gonna be able to survive with his life? Yes, he is. Oh, Murad's coming in, kind of misses a little bit on his ultimate. As will they be able to kill Moon though? That's the question.
Get out of there,
question.
Moon.
Oh no, they're gonna. Oh, his Flo takes down Murad. Wow, as they turn that around, everything going wrong for Spanish side. Almost
Pressing
a 7K
their advantage
gold lead.
too.
Yeah, look at this advantage. And the bottom side goes down as well. All the objectives so far have been going to France.
No defense on that tower, and yeah, I think it's just so ballsy that Raz and Batman remain in the blue side jungle. They keep stealing those jungle buffs, the gold, the experience, anything you can take from the Spaniards. If they'll let you have it, might as well go for it. Batman even gonna get some tower damage in here now as the middle lane tower goes down. The Spaniards on their heels.
And that's the thing, when you're playing versus a Murad, if you can starve him, you'll be able to get a lot of value here. Are they gonna be able to kill Judinio? Are they gonna go in? Yes, they are. Violet with the double. Oh man, Chickatin gonna get dove right underneath his tower, and France is just asserting themselves in this matchup. Spain just doesn't have an answer. Oh no,
I don't know if there's any other ways that we can say that Spain is in trouble right now. I think that the French have just shown us in battle after battle this second game. I think especially more dominant than even in game 1. They've already gotten the high ground tower down at mid at 6.5, but hold on, the Spaniards are about to get a counterattack here. Azure goes down. No more tank for the French team, and it looks like they'll be rebuffed finally. 3 towers remain for the Spaniards as the high ground in the mid takes a little bit of chip damage from the siege.
From the siege assault, and now Super Minions pretty much on, the bottom side for the French. They're going to be pushing in the entire game, so Spain has to be wary of that and make sure, it's at 6 minutes into the game, you have huge minions pushing in to your base. That's not something you want. Going to give France even more map control, and they have completely starved this Murad the entire game. He hasn't even been able to farm his jungle for the past 3 minutes. Without any gold, Murad really doesn't do much damage, especially as an assassin. That's the one thing. They're high-risk, high-reward champions, and if you don't have the gold to, get that high reward, you kind of just go into the team fight, do like 20, 30 damage, laughable damage, and then you die.
The French team, Dragon slaying again. The third one goes down, and it seems like there's nothing to stop them on their inevitable march to victory. 7.5 minutes, and they're already making a stab, maybe for the Dark Slayer?
Are they going for it?
They are.
Wow, where Violet needs to get over there. She's the one that does the most damage. She's like just trolleying it along as Flo is just sitting here in the middle.
Casual 1v5 fight. He's like, yeah, I can hold him back. No problem.
No problem.
Fist of Doom. Just hold up their hand.
Wow, Sutaro almost died because Violet took her sweet time getting there.
Looks like Lil went down. Raz finishes off Murad, and yeah, as you said before, not going to get a whole lot of value out of a jungler if he can't get that level advantage. Uh-oh, Flo's caught out of position, though. Finally, the French team comes in to support him, but it's not looking too good. Even though they've got a huge level advantage and that Dark Slayer buff, you never want to be in that 4-on-1 category. What's going on top, though?
Violet already taking a top side tower, and just like that, they're pushing into the base. The Spaniards just do not know what to do. Judinio almost gets nuked. Oh, wow. As the middle side tower is Flo going to start rotating towards that. Beautiful rotations by the French team. They're going for the top side, high ground tower, and mid.
Oh, dive on Chicotin is no good, but Valheim is going to be able to snipe a kill here. Flo is sent back to his own nexus, but the middle tower goes down as Moon and Azure get another one up on top. More super minions are getting deployed, and they're going for the final kill. Is the core going to hold up this time?
I don't think it is. Look at this. The French team just going in, not caring. Moon's gonna go down though. Batman trying to kill the core. Oh wow, Azor and Red just clean up the back end and then just take down the core. Unbelievable play by the French side. 13,000 gold lead, and it happened so fast. Actually, like 15,000 gold lead, excuse me. That was such a quick game, beautifully rotated by France the entire time. Spirit Sentinel, Abyssal Dragon again, Abyssal Dragon again. Got the third Abyssal Dragon, got the 3-4 towers, and Spain just didn't know what to do. It just snowballed out of control, and you gotta hand it to the French for the rotations.
Gotta hand it to them in the back end with that spanking hit hard on that poor core. Nothing to be done on the Spanish team if you've got the French playing, as you said, going for every single objective, not giving up a single dragon, not giving away any of their towers. The coverage was absolute from the very first team fight, where we saw a player going down in like the first 15 seconds of the game until the very end of the match. France has taken this series 2-0, and they will be taking those 3 match points. Very crucial because they'll have a leg up now in the challenge, but don't forget, the Spaniards are going to be having another chance to come back when the influencers are going to be stabbing at the French team. I think we got to send it back to the desk and get some more analysis on this match, though.
Woody wanted to go into detail already on the caster desk over there. Well, that's what we do over here. So there's not that much this time. We saw it. Germany was basically introducing quick games last week, and France just picking up on that. We saw they banned Zill on the Spanish side. That was a good step, and after that it was just fast pace.
Well, yeah, it was incredible to see Zill coming out in the ban phase, and this is a good thing about best of threes is you can adapt. I would have liked to see a little bit more adaptability from the Spanish side, because they still didn't take up Grok. Happy's Grok is such an insane thing, and to me it's just mind-blowing that they didn't pick it up, because Happy has had such a good run with Grok in this tournament. So I mean, for me it was really weird to see them not pick it up.
First blood against the Spaniards was actually the first action at all in the game. That was devastating.
Yeah, I think it was Spain's fault that they let the French to push too much at the early game. They again lost the objective, so it's not change for Spain and Grak. We didn't see Grak again. So.
Yeah, well, my prediction was a bit wrong, I guess. But yeah, France in this occasion, they win us in towers, kills, dragons, everything. They play very well in this match, and well, we lost.
I think from the first minute of the get-go, we saw the 404 that I'm more accustomed to seeing in the Go4 tournaments and online. They really took the aggression from minute 1 with the Mina pull and just went into the enemy jungle to continue that on. So from minute 1, it was much more of the 404 we see in the online matches.
We know that Spain went for a scaling comp on the first match already, second as well. Is it just that they're too eager to get into the fight? Like the first block was basically against what they picked. They wanted to build something up. They needed some time in the game to actually make sure that they have the damage to win it, and then they get picked up like in the first seconds.
Yeah, I think it came out unexpected for them to actually get pulled over that wall. A lot of players have done it, so I would not see why it came that unexpected, but they did lose a player instantly. And just basically after that, it was a 4-0-4 show.
It's true. It was really, really fast when it comes to all that. And we saw them taking the objectives once again. Spain's side has no chance at all to grab any of them. And just to give some numbers to that, actually, 8.9k gold versus 16k after the second Abyssal for the French side. That's actually something you can build on. That's a lot of little difference as well. It didn't really look like the Spaniards were actually aware of that at all, because every time there was a fight, they went for it.
Yeah, it definitely looked really shaky from the Spanish side in the game 2, more so than game 1, because of how they took fights. The level difference definitely came into the play. They needed to farm up, but they just kept taking the fights instead of trying to avoid the French side. So I think the Spanish side, going into that mid-game phase, they really basically nailed their own coffin there with the way they played.
The stats show it. Moon 11-3, the MVP of the match, and 2 other players from the French side without any death at all.
Yeah, definitely the French side are a really cohesive team in that sense. They never let their players die without pain. They always try to save whoever they can, and even try to trade whenever they think they're in a bad position. We saw that in the top where Murat got turned around on, even though Scott as well as Moon both were low. They just kept the damage going, and they turned that fight around eventually. So I think the French side's team synergy is really good, and that is really showing in these games.
France taking the first match of our week of 5, and we can talk for hours about what just happened in the game, but the best comments you get is always the ones from the players, so Paula is on side.
I do agree, Renee, and I'm looking forward to getting some opinions from Chicotin of Spain and, of course, Redemption of France. Chicotin, firstly, what went wrong?
I think we know that we are classified for DreamHack. We don't get planned a good concentrate for that type of match. We think we are going to play better, but they get a lot of more gold of us, win of our errors, all objectives, and very difficult to get the game better for us. Very difficult.
Redemption, from your perspective, what was the approach for Team France, and how did you capitalize on the errors that Spain were making?
So I think the difference was the comfort pick. We played something that we really know. We pushed it to the limits, and the enemy team, Spanish team, they played something that cannot really have any answer to what we put.
Were you surprised by the team composition of Spain? Did you expect other heroes? And when they did pick heroes, maybe you thought you'd do better?
No, we get surprised for that seal in the first round. We see all time their goal, and it was incredible. We don't know how that seal is getting a lot of level and a lot of gold, and in that moment we know that it's impossible to win the match. Very impossible. 5 level up of us, incredible, but a lot of errors make us lose, I think.
Redemption, can you explain that? Is there a particular, I don't know, style, or is there a technique that the Zil on your team is using to get gold and levels faster?
Yes, invading enemies jungle make the difference. Also capitalizing on turrets, objective, and yeah, that's global gold, and that's it.
Okay, moving on from the match, I can say that these two have, nonetheless, even though you've lost and you've won, both teams will be going forward to the finals at DreamHack Winter next weekend, and you'll be competing for $100,000. Now, Chicotin, you did say that because of that, you knew you were going to qualify, that you were resting on your laurels a bit. How will you prepare for DreamHack, and what does it mean to be going to that huge, historic event?
I think for a Spain team, we have the best position because the 3 teams others win us. We go with no pressure. The other teams, I think, have more pressure to win. We are going to train scouting them, trying to learn more or do other tactics to counteract the other teams. And I think we can surprise if we would do a good job because we are no pressure. We have the best position.
And Redemption, what about you? What does it mean to be able to go and compete at DreamHack and have the chance to not only experience that, but you'll be competing for a very, very large sum of money?
Yeah, it means a lot for us. Like, we have a lot of expectation from the French community, ourselves, and yeah, we want to win this really hard.
And who do you guys think will be the toughest competition, other than yourselves, at that tournament?
I think the biggest enemies will be Germany. They train really hard, they are on the top ladder, and sometimes we struggle to fight against them, but I think we can make it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, guys, for your thoughts and opinions. It's been a pleasure to have you here competing over the last 5 weeks, but it's not over yet, and we will see you next week. Rene, over to you.
Both teams obviously happy to be at DreamHack and to qualify for that. And you know, the French community, they're very passionate about everything. No matter the game, if there's a good French team involved, then they're all out for that. But there's only one thing I really hope for DreamHack, that he will come back with that sunglasses. Like Redemption without the sunglasses. That was a bit sad, right?
So glasses maybe is the key of the victory.
Maybe your team should adapt that.
Well,
they can try. They can try.
But like, they're at the point where they're willing to try everything to get the next win. Like if it has to be sunglasses and vision, can they help?
They definitely can. As we've touched in week 1 with TJ, we were touching on the lighting being a little bit maybe too bright, so sunglasses definitely help that filter that one out and maybe concentrate more on the game.
That's why you're the expert for Arena of Valor. That's why you're here, mate, because you know that sunglasses are important to win part of the NPT. But we will head into a 4-minute break, and right after that, you will see the highlights of all the games that have been played throughout the week. And France head over to UK, and UK again against Italy. So don't miss that. We're back in 4 minutes. stopping with all the action from Arena of Valor here in week number 5. We just saw the first match and was France taking the win over Spain 2-0 in 2 very, very quick matches below 10 minutes. That's what we saw last week already, and it seems like everyone is picking up pace here at the NPT. But now it's time for the online highlights, where we see UK playing actually 2 matches, and also seeing the French team going up against the UK and Italy facing UK for some more points. But you will see all of that with the beautiful voices of Woody and then Chetan.
Beautiful voices, hey! Yes, we're going to be taking a look at pretty much UK. You know, they played 2 matches versus France and Italy on the online, tournament that goes on as well. There's online games that happen every week, and there's this offline, which we cast here weekly in the NPT.
Exactamundo. I think you've got more of a booming voice than a beautiful voice, but I can't disagree with Renee. He's got a very smooth baritone as well. But you're right in chat, and we've got 6 teams in total taking part in this non-pro tournament here out in Europe, but it's a round-robin format, so every team has to match up against every other team before the tournament can be finished. But we've only got a few weeks of competition to be able to share the live events with you, so in the background, these matches have been taking place. They count just the same as any of the live events, but we need to recap them just to let you know what's been going on since the beginning of this week.
Yeah, that is true. The first matchup that we're going to be going over is France versus UK. Now, this one had a huge implications because if France pretty much beat the UK, they would then qualify for DreamHack. So that matchup was amazing. And then the second one that we're going to be looking at is going to be UK and Italy. So UK, tried to get in, but
we'll see what happens. They needed to win both of these matches in order to move on, by my understanding. I think it's just about time to check out these matches, though. Let's start the highlights, right?
Yeah, I think let's take a look at France versus UK.
Team lineups over here shown for you. Sutaro on the top, of course, the Frenchman. Over on the right side being backed up by Mina, Lubu, Illumia, and Violet, who are on the other side, the Brits.
Talanis, Crest, L'Oreal, Zuka, and Batman.
Dang,
I had to get that in there. Boom.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this first fight. 30 seconds into the matchup, there was a double kill that came out for UK.
Little Jew running away. Zuka in a lot of trouble, but managed to escape. Looks like the first blood went to Lubu, knocking down Crest.
Yep, and they picked up the second one as well.
A little bit of a stab over on that left side from Lubu, but it seemed that was not enough to get the ultimate lead here. Kresh led a big tidal wave to wipe out a 3v1 fight as Violet finally went down, and they got a little bit more tower damage, but Kresh dove a little bit too deep.
A little bit. UK took
hit his head on the bottom of the pool.
Boom! It's never what you want to do, especially if you go swimming pretty often.
Yep.
Still gonna take care of that. Zuka went in after on the top lane, and Batman gets taken out by Lubu.
There's no more. Yeah, that play earlier from Zil, though, just spoke wonders, especially during the last match that we saw from the French player. Sutaro is one of the best Zil players in the continent, if not the world. And you can clearly see why from the replay of this match. They take the first tower on the bottom this time instead of letting the top go down first.
And they come out with 3 kills here. And coming out is going to be the tower dive that ultimately would end the game and give France the victory in the match. They took care of that.
Ultimately, indeed. The 3rd triple kill from Sutaro. Zil is not a force to be forgotten. He is, yeah, definitely in the front of our minds during that last match and during this one as well, as that tower was torn apart and they finished off the core not soon after.
Yeah, and we're going to get into match number 2. Once again, we saw Zil, Sutaro on Zil, took care of business, and in match number 2, he once again gets the Zil.
So the Brits at this point needed to turn this thing around. This was the time to start their reverse sweep if they wanted to keep their dreams for DreamHack alive.
Yep, 2 minutes here. We're going to see a Spirit Sentinel come out for the French side. That is their signature, as quick as possible. Spirit Sentinel. Then they're going to see First Blood come out. Zuka takes down the Batman.
Batman, a great jungler in the mid to late game, but had a lot of difficulty early game getting that advantage. Same thing that we saw from the Spaniards earlier on today. The Abyssal Dragon went down, and that was a nice early gold lead for the French team.
Yeah, and finally at 4:15, UK picks up their first kill of the match on the back of Violet.
It was a 1-1 point at that game, but the 3-2 in the Brits' favor almost started to turn things around here. Sutaro on defense, retreating, hiding in the bushes for a second here. Gets one more stab in, but was finished off
by the Crest making the plays.
That actually gave the Brits their first and I think only kill lead in the entire series overall. Had a little bit of difficulty up toward the top here, and you saw with Zuka going down, it was a 3-3 game score at that point.
Yeah, once again, the French took another Abyssal Dragon in this match. The second one already out. And then this is one of the biggest fights that go down in the game, as France completely dominated. Zill going in again and again, takes out 4 members of the UK squad.
And even diving in to try to crash down Crest. He's taken a lot of damage with that little bubble that he had, managed to keep him alive, retreating back to his home in the fountain so he can revive himself.
Just a skirmish trying to be set up here, but not really much goes on, as all members will get out of this alive. Just with a little bit of life, they snuck down, but then at the end, they're gonna go for the end game dive, as the UK just can't do anything about this push.
That's what got the French team to win this game. When you convert a neutral situation into a win, or at least a loss into a neutral position, the fact that they were able to dive so hard at the core with almost no defense whatsoever from the Brits at the very end definitely means that they earned that win. Zill chopping that thing apart. Great victory for Team France in the first and second games of that match, a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, beautifully played by Team France in both those games. Once again, I feel like if you give Zill to the French, they're going to make you pay. And just like you saw there, MVP pretty much of both games. And that's what it's about. But we have a second matchup that also was played on the online, and it's going to be Italy versus the UK.
You know, there's a rhyme. If you give the French a Zill, he's going to get a kill.
Well, he definitely got a couple.
More than a couple, indeed. The second match featured the Brits versus the Italians. Now, I think it was just out of their reach to be able to make it a DreamHack, but the Italians still had a dog in this fight. They needed to get this win in order to be positioned well and ensure their chance to move on. They were actually, I think, both right at the bottom of the rankings, but still potentially able to get the win here. Masterov repping the Brits up on top. Starts the kill advantage here at a 2-1.
Yeah, and then we're going to see the tier towers go down from the Italians, as UK really, started to dominate this game during the early game, and Britons really took advantage of that.
Grek gets a wonderful hook, and Marco had no way to escape from a massive attack. The bottom lane in a lot of trouble. It was the top lane that went down next, as the Brits took a 3-tower advantage, getting that second tower down on the top.
Grek with the ult comes out and took down that, as everything is going right for the UK at this moment.
Telanis had so little health, but just being able to squeak out by the skin of your teeth is all you ever really need to do. No important fight taking place just yet, but we've got Grek up on top, once again dominant, one of the biggest, heaviest tanks in the game, and whenever he gets a hook, man, you're in a lot of trouble if he's got buddies to back him up.
Yeah, the 4th Abyssal Dragon was taken at 11 minutes, and then this huge skirmish that comes out on the bottom side. Just Mina, just hanging out, and this is one of the key plays coming down. This is going to be a 2-for-1. comes out for the UK side.
Another hook from Masterov. Grak pulls him in and ults right afterwards. Blurs has got plenty of hit points, and he managed to get out that time, but he's went in for another strike there, just trying to hold on to this mid tower. The hook, I think maybe intended for Malak there, didn't actually get the connection, wound up taking down Murad instead, and that's what gave the Brits their second win as they went for another big stab. Arthur managed to barely escape by the skin of his teeth, and Masterov playing Grak here piloted his hero out of the center.
Yep, the story of the game was Grak MVP on the hooks, on just staying alive at all costs. Grak definitely was the MVP in this matchup. Talanis, she took care of that, and then we're just gonna go in here for the game-ending push from UK.
Brits all in the center. 13-14 at the level count, so not quite the highest that they could have reached, but no need to reach max level if you've got such a great lead over your opponents. Just about a 10,000 gold at this point, and it was an absolute bloodbath toward the end. No heroes on defense whatsoever. The ace is good, and the Brits finish off the core with no contest.
No, and that was a dominating performance from the Brits, taking game number 1. But let's get right into the second match that was played between Italy and UK.
Let's do it. This is a best of 3 after all, and it was possible for the Italians to still be able to turn things around here. Another fantastic hook from Grak. It seems like that's one of his favorite things. You need amazing aim to be able to get that hook off, but pulling your opponents into tower range or even getting some help from your fellow heroes, often good enough to get the kill, as you see for the second time there. Masterov taking it down for the British team in the bottom left.
Yeah, Grak hit all of his hooks this week, and when you hit as many hooks as Grak was hitting, besides that one, everything goes right.
That one, yeah. But that's what the Italians just did not do. They needed to mind the Grak. You can ask any Brit, and that's what they'll tell you. It's posted everywhere in the subway system there. I'm pretty sure that's what it says, right? Mind the Grak, mind the gap. I might have mixed that one up, but at any rate, Abyssal Dragon went down once again, and that was another objective sweep for the Brits. 2 towers and 2 dragons to their name, as the team fights were looking better and better with that level advantage.
Yep, just a kill here on Talanis, and then moving over to the top side of the map. Just gonna get a couple of champions taking down, increasing the gold lead for the Brits.
You know, at least Macro Marino managed to get a tower down there. Crixie trying to flee, but Vera, the Soul Eater, took her out. Abyssal Dragon just getting farmed once again. The Brits did a very good job in this game and in the prior match that they had against the French team, trying to take that guy out, but I think that their focus on objectives in this match was what really got them the early lead that they are more used to getting. I think that they're accustomed to having that early lead than being able to snowball. It's when they lose in the first couple of minutes that they really get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and Grak kept clearing out the path for Talanis to just go off on these champions, continuing to do it. Arthur, though, is the one who picked up all the kills, and a little KS here, a little kill steal here and there from the tag. Reported.
Yeah.
But at 11-minute, Dark Slayer from the Brits, and as you can slowly see, everything going wrong for Italy at this point, and it's just a matter of time.
That was a huge boon for the British team, and this is actually an opportunity to get a big achievement in the game. If you're down 20 kills and yet still manage to win the match, you get a nice little bonus from it. I don't think that the Italians were ready to claim that mantle this time, though. Masterov gets another fantastic Grak hook, and there was nothing the Italians could do to stop it at this point.
Nope, the core goes down, and UK picks up the 2-0 victory versus the Italians.
Well done to the Brits. They managed to get 6 points overall, but I believe that was just slightly short of being able to move on to DreamHack. We had a nice showing from the Italians here. They're going to be toward the bottom of the bracket now, and there's an opportunity for both of the teams that we have in studio, the French team and the Spanish team, to take that third and second position so that they don't have to go up against the Germans in the very first round of DreamHack, Jen.
Yeah, they do not want to go against that, but going over the scoreboard and everything like that, I think it's time to toss it back to Renee.
Let's do it.
Thanks, guys. I'm just happy that I can still say I'm proud of being Slogo Man fanboy. He's still in it, the UK winning. It's a bit unfortunate that once again there's an imbalance between the NP team and the Internet Celebrity team, because otherwise they would go to DreamHack.
Yeah, it was really close for the UK. If the Celebrity team would have won the game versus Germany, it would have definitely been possible for them to actually attend DreamHack. So it is great to see actually a team have that much success.
We saw France playing the UK guys as well, 2-0 for them. So it seems like it's kind of a storyline now with Spain also losing 2-0. Is it just because the French team is that good?
Well, we'll try to do the same as friends, but against friends. And if it's possible to win 2-0, it would be perfect. But I think that in this match will be 2 against 1, maybe.
Oh, you're diving into predictions already. We're not there yet. We're not there at all, but I will remind you guys about the Twitter poll. Just head over there, make sure to get your vote in for whatever team is winning the next match. It's the influencer match between Spain and France. Don't miss that, because it will be right there after the break. Welcome back, Week 5 Arena of Valor non-pro tournament. And in case you just watched the last segment, you might saw there's someone new at my desk and totally forgot to introduce him more or less. I mean, you don't really need introduction. It's Azur, the supporter from the French team, mate. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
nice to get 2 wins in a row and then take the points and then end up at the desk. That's the biggest accomplishment,
yeah,
right?
I'm happy to be here, to be honest. I has to be here, so.
I had no other choice, really. I wanted to go home. Did not really work. Well, let's discuss that game we just saw once again. Like, you were playing in it. We heard all the opinions from the guys around you already, but how was the game for you?
You talking about the game versus Spain or the games we already casted?
The game versus Spain.
Okay, the game versus Spain. You know, we were pretty confident about this game because we worked a lot about the team. We struggled against Germany, so we had a lot of practice, you know, scrims and things like that. So yeah, we were thinking about 2-0, and that's what happened. So basically, yeah, the things we wanted to do to make happen.
First blood on the second game came so quick. Was it a moment to cheer? Like, did you knew that you will pick it up?
We knew Raz was pretty much, you know, the pick that made the difference because Illumia is building around mid to late game, where Raz is pretty much early and mid game. So we said, okay, let's make it around Raz and build his strength, and that's what happened. He ended up with the most kills and the most damage. So.
All that confidence led to 2-0 for France over Spain, and I'll remind you guys once again about the format, how all of this works, so you guys know everything about the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament that you need to know. So we got a group with 6 nations, all of them represented by 2 teams. One is the non-pro team, they qualified through cups, and one is a team out of internet celebrities, content creators, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, you know, all the guys that you love. They play in another team, they all try to score points for their nations and hopefully end up on DreamHack to have a chance for a $100,000 prize pool. And we got close to that because we know the top 4 teams will go through to DreamHack. That's set in stone already, and now it's only about the seeding, where everyone goes. And we saw the Spanish team was new to us last week because we saw your guys early on the NPT already, and Spain came in and they played up so much against Germany. Like, everyone was sure Germany will take the win. That will be an easy thing. Did not happen. So how good is that team?
Do you think? We think Germany is pretty much a good team, but they slept too much those weeks. We screamed against them, and we know we can make it at top 1 at the DreamHack.
We're not talking about the NP teams right now. We're talking about the influencer teams.
Oh,
the teams that are coming up in the next match.
Oh, so that would be harder for you, for us. Yeah, for you it's not, but for us.
No, for me it's always. It only gets harder when people joining my desk with very crazy names.
Yeah. I guess we give some tips for our French players, our French influencers. So they might come with some good composition, and we hope for the best for them, because we don't know how good the Spanish are.
What about the Spanish team? Did you practice with them?
Not yet. I will try, but they are focusing in this tournament. And they are doing...
Not yet. You might be late, mate.
Yeah, a bit late, yeah.
It's over.
But they are doing quite good. I expected that they were playing good, but not as I expected. And we'll see now if they can win this French team.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if we split the points once again, or if France takes the whole weekend and goes home with 6 points. But before that, we do the Mr. and Mrs. video segment. You might know that. Last time we had a beautiful laugh with that until he died at the desk. So let's hope this one is as good as last week.
I think the first game he ever played was Age of Empires 2. Maybe he was the best Age of Empires player in Spain. I think Meat Burger. His preferred champion is Arthur, for sure. He doesn't like a lot of celebrities, so I think he will answer the same. Maybe Kasparov. Maybe his favorite place is Paris. I think in a boat. This is
Monkey Island.
This is a game or is a?
I play with my dad. Okay, yeah, maybe the first core game it was Age of Empires 2.
Ah, okay, okay.
I have no idea. Finishing my law degree, dating with Alicia. I don't know.
I said was the best Age of Empires 2 playing the gamer in Spain.
I don't know if that much. I mean, I won one game 1v5, but I mean that was just once. But yeah, I don't know which one is my
almost.
My favorite food is cordero lechal, which is a really small lamb. It's from my land. I mean, what do you say?
Burger.
Come on. No, you have no idea about food, about anything. Okay, my preferred champion is Arthur.
1 point for me.
Yeah, I don't have any crush, I think.
I'm the best.
That's a score?
I'm the best.
About idol, I would say some kind of entrepreneur. So I mean, I like Steve Jobs. I like Amancio Ortega. I mean, those kind of guys.
Almost.
What do you say?
Kasparov.
Oh, you are so obsessed with chess. I mean, okay, my favorite place, I would say the Mallorca. I know that place because of Alicia, my girlfriend. So yeah.
In Spain, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I played a game during the border control at the airport, and you know that you can use your phone when you are going through the border, but I didn't want to lose that much, so I keep playing from behind, and yeah, probably that was the weirdest situation.
Okay, half a point.
Half a point? Yeah, what did you say?
About.
About.
That sounded like a typical German answer, Mallorca. It's like the favorite place of most Germans to go. I know that it is in Spain, but that doesn't matter. A lot of Germans go in there, so that might be. How can you not like burgers? I'm a bit disappointed right now. Like, burgers, the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
There we go. I like that guy. So he can stay. He can stay. What about you?
I prefer pizza.
Oh, maybe he's Italian.
Yeah, we will just replace you next time. Don't worry. Envision, you like burgers, I know that.
Yes, definitely do. There's a lot of great burgers and a lot of great burger places.
A lot of great burgers everywhere. A lot, at least in Poland. We try that out during the show. Not during the shows. After and before the shows, we did all the burgers. Monkey Island being one of the first games he played with his dad. That's an amazing game. I don't know if you guys know it, but Gabriel Fleetwood, that guy is just like the sense of humor in Monkey Island is legendary. Everyone's just looking at me, never heard about it. Wow. All right.
So,
no, we don't do any Monkey Island stuff today anymore. But that's all right, because we've got a Spanish interview for you lined up. Here it is.
My role in the team is the carry, the ADC, damage. I like to play Violet and Telanas, but I have been trying Moren, the new carry. It's very funny to play. Maybe in the second game I will take Moren, just for fun. Okay, about the game against the German team. The first time I died in the bot lane, we hear to the German guys laughing and screaming, and, hi. And I say to my team, hey guys, this is the last time I died here. So we start playing better. We thank you to the Germans for this first kill, because that encouraged us to play better. The best thing about this tournament is to meet my teammates and stay together with them all the weekend, to know the other Spanish players from the non-professional tournament, obviously to meet other influencers like Germans and French guys, That's amazing. I want that people remember the Spanish team as the invincible team, the no-lose team. The score today will be just 2 matches for us.
They will remember that Spanish team for sure, even if it's just for killing the streak of the Germans. I mean, that's an achievement already.
Yeah, it definitely is. Germans have had a really good run. They've been undefeated up into the point where Influencers actually took them down. So it's definitely great to see an Influencer team coming through and actually stopping that legendary streak that the Germans were on.
And they talk about, he was like, thanks to Germany for that first kill, that encouraged Russians to do better and all that. Is that what happens in Arena Valor now? Since it's just growing over here, it's just starting and get it rolling, do you pick up a lot of stuff from other teams, what you see?
Yeah, pretty much. We're looking a lot at what other teams do because it helps us to build, you know, a European meta. You have stuff like roaming, like double lanes, like double jungle, and we always end up choosing what's the best and what's giving the most income, the best income for our team.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I agree
mate.
with this guy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, mate. I was just looking at you. I was like, oh, you want to say something?
Sorry.
And then, no, not really. Doesn't matter because we have one of his teammates from the French side for an interview and all the predictions for today's NP match.
The atmosphere in my team is like we're all here to have fun, and that's basically the main word we're using every time, everywhere. We're here to have fun. That's all. We prepared a little bit for this match. We tried with some players of my team. We played some games to try out some characters and compositions, but not that much. So I think it will be. Like improvisation mostly. Our experience from the week 1, the match we played against Sweden, was quite hard because they were 2 professional players, so not from our Valor of course, but they were really good, so we tried to practice a little bit, but they were too good for us. I'm playing jungle in my team, so it's I think the hardest role to master because you have to be everywhere. You have to call things for your team when you have to do dragons, when you have to kill people, to regroup and everything. So it's quite hard for me, but I'm working with the pro team to learn some stuff. Actually, I was doing it like 5 minutes ago. What I like most about international tournaments is that I can meet people that I see online or just know by names, and I can see them in real life, talk to them, and that's really interesting because it wouldn't happen without that.
We heard it, practicing with the other team to get even better, but jungle, is it the hardest role to climb up in the ranks of Arena Valor?
The hardest? No, I guess jungle is the easiest role. You have mid lane and jungle that are carrying hard games.
So what is the hardest role when you do like solo queue, for example?
Solo queue? I guess maybe solo top, because you rely on your team doing good. You're always 1 versus 1, and if your team is losing the 4 versus 4 on the other side of the map, you can't do anything.
In my case, I think that maybe jungle. You need to control 3 lines, and also you need to be at the way at the time that you need to go there.
A lot of map awareness needed to actually play jungle. We know that he was talking about you need to know when to do objectives, when they respawn and all that stuff. I mean, you see it on the map, but still you need to be aware of everything. You need to decide either group up or still do the jungle, still trying to do objectives. Is that a specific skill set that's not so viable on the other lanes? Like players that are doing jungle for teams, are they viable for other lanes as well? Or the roles?
Yeah, I definitely have to say so, because if you play the jungle role, you kind of see how the other lanes are, like middle, top, or bottom. So you kind of learn the other lanes as well. You really know when to initiate from the jungle, and I think that can be applied into laning as well. So if you go into the bottom lane, you actually know how to take fights and when to take fights. So I think definitely the jungling ability comes into play if you want to switch into other roles as well.
Both teams are eager to play this match, so we need quick predictions from you guys. I guess this time we start with Envision because it's always like the experts doing last, but you will start this time. Come on.
I'm going to predict 2-1 to France.
I don't know. I'll say the Spanish guys will be hard for France, so I guess, yeah, 2-1 for Spanish.
2-1, maybe, yeah. Please.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Everyone is willing to give that prediction. That means we're done over here, and that means we get the teams finally into the arena. So please welcome Team Spain and France.
Enter Internet Celebrity Team France, starting with Kataga. Welcome, Zerator! Welcome, Moman! Welcome, Master Snaku! And finally, welcome, Kenny! This is Internet Celebrity Team France! And now, welcome to the stage, Internet Celebrity Team Spain, starting with Zach! Welcome, Bystax! Welcome, Serinia! Welcome, the Alvaro! And finally, welcome to the stage, Gingetto! This, everybody, is Internet Celebrity Team Spain!
Unicorn on that shirt. Well, I need to go right now because I need to subscribe to Zach. Just for... It was like spreading good mood everywhere. Just coming into the arena, making sure that everyone's smiling, everyone having fun. That's the right attitude.
Yeah, it definitely is. Coming into these games, you definitely need to be cheered up. You can't be thinking about where you are or what you're doing. So I think being relaxed and full of fun is always a great way to start your games.
I bet this is the wrong game for this.
Wrong game to have fun.
No, not to have fun, but to dance. You have Just Dance. You could just go there.
Nah, no, we allow people to dance on stage. That's all right. I really like that. How about those moves?
Well, I think that make a good presentation, a funny presentation is good for yourself to be not nervous, and it's a good way for get a good match.
Talking about being nervous, is that like this moment where you walk on stage, like Azuri had that today, like you're walking into this arena. Is that a moment where you feel nervous?
The first time you walk on the arena? Yeah, it's pretty big, so, and when this the first time you go on stage, there is always, those nerves you have. But once you get on the, on the stage and playing the game, you're on the game and you're focused on the game. So everything outside, you just get out of it. Yeah.
Second week was easier, or was it easier for Spain? Because those guys played last weekend, so for them it was like that weekend or another weekend right after, where you guys had to wait from week 1 to now week 5. Mm-hmm. Was it starting all over again, or still getting used to everything?
The other thing is they could see their own game and they could work on this. So we have an advantage, like playing before, you have more time to work on your weaknesses.
Working at your weaknesses, but we're not working on them right now. We're working on the game, and that means it's time for Woody and Enchanted.
Thank you, Renee. this matchup, the influencer, matchup, it's, for fun. As you can see, they always come out, all jolly, all happy. But this could mean a lot for the seeding. France currently right now is in the 2nd spot. And, Spain currently sitting, 3 or 4, depending on how the tiebreaker goes. You really don't want to play versus the Germans in the NPT. Their non-pro team hasn't lost a single match so far in the NPT.
That's right, Inja, and it's all jokes and giggles until you jump into the battlefield. That's when it's time to take a win. And you heard there from Cinchetto, when he lost his first life to the Germans last week, it was no more Mr. Nice Guy. Went completely try-hard mode, and the Spaniards dominated in week 4. But the French have been here before. They got a chance to come in and prove themselves once again. It'll be an interesting matchup because the French non-pro team, just hot off of their win, might be able to lend a little bit of power to the influencers, but the Spaniards, on the other hand, having won last week and having the need for another win in order to avoid going up against the Germans, have definitely got a lot of stake in this match too.
Yeah, but the Spanish influencers, they play together all the time. As we were talking to them, they said they are so in tune with each other. They know how to play. They have a lot of practice matches all together. Just before, they were playing together, in the green room, and they are ready to go. They took down, they're the only team to defeat any German team. They actually beat the German influencer team last week, if you were here. So they are definitely, in my opinion, one of the strongest influencer teams. And look at this, just having fun in the studio. Hey.
He's known for its sense of humor. Zerato, the CEO of Unexpected Studios. It's an independent game developer studio in Montpellier, and he's clearly having a lot of fun both with this game and with his own. It's time to start the band pick process, though, in chat. And the way that this works is each team will be able to choose one hero that can't be picked by either team at all. Once they've done their bans, they'll get a chance to go back and forth 1 to 2, 2, 2, 2 to 1. To choose their lineup of 5 in total.
Yeah, it looks like Zill's going to be taken out from the French influencers, and Batman for the Spanish influencers with Zach banning that. So both these heroes will not be able to be played in this matchup.
Fair enough. 2 heavy damage dealing heroes. They are quite well known from previous weeks of gameplay. Zill and Batman have both been kicking ass in the battlefield, so it'll be up to the players here to find some other way of dealing damage. Arthur going to be the first pick from the French team, and I think that Alvaro might be a little bit disappointed about that. That is his favorite hero, but the Spanish team's going to follow up with 2 picks of their own. Kresht and Zinar coming out.
Yeah, Kresht and Zinar, you got that big, beefy tank. Last week we saw with the Kresht pick from the Spanish side, definitely was their main reason why they beat the Germans. That big, hefty tank in the front lane, always managed to get in front, paving the way for Wistak on those assassins to take care of business. But the French influencers coming with Violet and L'Oreal.
High damage win condition from the French team. They're going to be able to dish out a lot of it, and it's up to the Spaniards now to find some way to counter. They're going to pick Butterfly, it looks like, for the jungle, and Alvaro has switched out for Lubu. Didn't have access to his favorite hero, but Lubu is a pretty similar warrior. He's not entirely tanky, but he can get quite a bit of health back from his lifesteal ability. On the other hand, though, the French team have got 2 more heroes to choose. Looks like Thane will be their tank, and is Kenny going to go for Murad?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they have 2 big, hefty tanks in the front line, Arthur and Thane. Then with the Assassin coming out from Murad, L'Oreal and Violet, they're going to be playing towards the mid to late game, the French side, and Talon is coming out for the Spaniards here. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Both teams pretty much have 2 tanks, Lubu and Kresht coming in from the Spanish side, as the French take Arthur and Thane. We're going to have to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
But, with Zach, with that Butterfly last week, phenomenal gameplay, definitely assassinated all of the Germans on the influencer side, and pretty much was the MVP twice. So with Butterfly and Zephy's, if I recall correctly, and he has Butterfly this time. Second time they had to ban Butterfly on him.
Of course, we got to give a shout out to Cinchetto. He's picked his hero as well. El Doctor de Culología has chosen an ass kicker. The marksman Tel-Anis will be the final pick from the Spaniards. She dishes out a ton of damage and has great range as well from her ability. She can snipe down a tower without even being able to fire back at them.
Yes.
And with that, we're just about to have the lineups for these 2 teams. Do you see any potential for counterplay here, or is this a relatively even match in Chatton?
I think they're going to need to shut down this Murad, because if he starts getting to get going, taking the enemy jungle as well, he's going to really start snowballing in. You never really want to have Murad come out of nowhere and really take care of you during the mid game. But Butterfly definitely is a great counter to Murad, assassinates him. You know, he's a little bit stronger, more of like a warrior assassin-ish type than a Murad who's just, I'm going to go in, I'm either going to get the kill or I'm going to die.
Chincheto's so hot there, he's trying to cool himself off. He's got a nice little pillow. He's turned into a fan there. I love this Goomba hat, though. I think that there's a lot of spunk on the
a lot of spunk,
side.
yeah. They come out, look at them, even their NPT team with the glasses all ready to go. But they're just having fun right now, waiting to get into the match. And look at them, they got the pillows for, their hands. And you got to be comfortable when you play. That's the main thing about, mobile games is you have to be in a comfortable position if you want to play.
I heard Moman was the clown on the French team, but it seems Zerator is trying to take his spot there. I'm not sure if he's going to be a very good poker player if he's showing off so many faces, but we do indeed now have the final lineup for these two teams. The French team over on the left, Gotaga as L'Oreal, Zerator playing Violet, Momen as Arthur, Master Snackow as Thane, and Kenny has picked Murad.
And then we have on the Spanish side with Zach on Butterfly, Stax on Jannar, Serena on Crest, Alvaro on Lubu, and Chinchito on Telanas.
On that Telanas.
Get ready.
Top lane is going to see Thane. Nope, I think he's just having fun hanging out at the core. Snackow just not really deciding where he wants to go quite yet. Oh, it's going to be bottom, in fact.
Yeah, the tower was hard to get by.
I mean, sometimes
that was the raid boss.
You'd be a little indecisive in the early game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't get the skills to carry into the late portion. Hopefully he does know where to go as the match goes on, though. As the tank, he's really responsible for keeping that damage off of his ADC down there. Violet is going to be responsible for getting all the damage, while Telanas on the other side is going to be her match. Crest is the tank on the bottom for the Spanish team. Can you tell us a little bit more about Crest? He looks pretty small right now in Chen. I don't think he's very intimidating as a tank.
No, he pretty much isn't intimidating until he gets to that level 4 ability, but not only does he have to be level 4, his rage bar on the bottom, that red bar, once that's all the way filled and he is level 4 and he has his ultimate ready to go, he turns into a sea monster, Woody, throwing geysers all over the place.
Well, it looks like he's starting to learn the tricks of the trade. Pops a bubble there. That'll give him a little bit of a shield. Meanwhile, Chincheto making use of that long range to get a few snipes off, forcing Snackow back. Thane doesn't have a whole lot of ways to deal with ranged attacks. He can get a good charge in there, but if he doesn't have support from Violet, he'll be in a lot of trouble. Zeratul getting a few snipes, but they're happy to hang out at the tower. On the other side, though, with Zach getting a little bit of jungling done here, Butterfly, well known for her ability to get those early kills that give her a level advantage in the early game. Maybe try to snipe a few heroes away as well.
Yes, Chincheto just continuing putting pressure on the bottom lane. Zerathor and Shaku taking a ton of damage from just the poke from Chincheto, and he's continuing this poke, one of the longest ranges in the game when Telanas pops that ability.
He's pulling back now, though. Maybe he needs to go take a sip at the fountain. But a big attack and first blood from Butterfly. The jungler from the Spanish team gets a kill, and that's a nice little bit of passive bonus damage. But he's got to run away. No! L'Oreal takes him down anyways.
Stax and Alvaro trying to kill Momen, and they will. A 3-for-1 trade. But in the bottom lane, action left and right. Zerathor barely escapes with his life.
The two players on bottom will be recalling, trying to get a little bit more hit points. It's unfortunate, though. You'd really kind of prefer to have Snackow stay in that lane to defend the tower, and that might be a big hit from the Spaniards. They're getting a little bit of poke in there. Chincheto start to finally get a few shots off, but they don't have a minion wave to support that attack, and it's really dangerous if you're sitting right next to a tower. Your hero takes a ton of damage if she doesn't have any support.
Yep, the biggest thing that's going to happen right now is when they get back into lane, the Spanish side will be already level 4 on the bottom side. Let's see if they can do a quick cheese, and get them right before the French team can get level 4. But it looks like they will pick it up from this last minion wave that comes in.
A little bit of cheese, you say, perhaps a bit of queso from Butterfly on the bottom, as with Zach makes his way toward the center. It's going to be a 3-on-2 if the French players are unaware of the match going on here. It looks like they've spotted Crest moving around, though, and they will be going back down into lane to defend. Sure shot from Chinchetto as he gets a little bit of damage off against Zerator there.
And just getting a little bit of chip here and there. The last couple crits. Chinchetto. This poke has definitely got to start getting on Zerator's nerves. But on the top, is the Alvaro going to survive? No, Murad comes in and gets that kill. The Murad's going to slowly start to get into this game. But look at the gold lead, though. 1.2k deficit for the French still in this match.
No towers or dragons taken yet, so it's just a little bit of support from that extra hero kill they've gotten and also from staying in their lane. It's really important to get the kills on these creeps. They seem like they're really insignificant and tiny. You know, you don't want to have to worry about them unless there's nothing else to do. But that's what gets you your levels in the early game. That's what gets you the gold that starts to generate the advantage necessary to tear that first tower down, to start working in your opponent's jungle to get the advantage that you need for the win eventually.
Yeah, Chinchetto gonna just continue to do a little bit of poke here, a little bit of poke there. Gotaga and Kenny sitting in the middle. Zach with stacks. Zach's just going to continue to farm up. Not really much is going on in this beginning of this matchup here.
With Zach already level 7, though.
Yeah. He hasn't really been doing much ganking, but here comes Gotaga coming in on the bottom. Chinchetto gonna survive with his life, and there's the Crush ult that we were talking about. Can Gotaga get out of here with his life, though? That's the question.
A massive sea monster, Serena, goes ultimate form, but is in a lot of trouble, takes a ton of damage, and gets pushed back into the tower. Thane, what are you doing? You do not want to push your enemy into their own tower. Massive defensive advantage for the Spaniards as Thane goes down, and that's an early kill that will be able to help support the Spaniards on their, path to victory. 2,000 gold advantage plus at this point.
Yeah, 4v2 on the bottom side. The Spaniards survive just long enough with the Crest ult for their team to come in the back and take out Thane. Snaku getting the only one who will fall in that matchup. And I think France really wanted to come up with a couple of kills, especially when you had, the advantage there when L'Oreal came down on the bottom side. Looks like Stax and Gotaga are going to continue to just do even trades up in the middle. It looks like the Spirit Sentinel going to get taken out from Kenny. Murad's just trying to get going here towards the mid game.
Murad and Butterfly have not really been meeting up at all, though. The junglers for each team have been kind of split up on opposite sides of the map. Nice catch there from the French players. They do manage to push back Alvaro, and with that, there's no protection for this top tower, just a little bit of creep support here. Could be the final kill as another minion wave comes in for the blue team, but Serena on the bottom doing a little bit more farming as well. Forced into a 2v1. It looks like Talanis is pulled back and it's going either mid or top lane now to provide some defense, but the tower has already gone down. The French players take it, and that is the first one to fall.
Yeah, Talanis rotating towards the top side just to protect the tier 2 tower. On the top side, Talanis gonna try to chase after Arthur a little bit, realizes it's a bad idea and starts going into the jungle, going down to meet up with Crush in the bottom, I would assume, as Lubu now transfers to the middle with Stacks.
Violet still on her date with Thane in the bottom lane. Looks like they're both having a smashing good time down there, but they have taken quite a bit of tower damage. And the unfortunate thing about that Violet in the bottom not being able to stab away at the red tower is that there's eventually just going to be a minion wave after wave of support from the Spanish side that might crash down and kill the bottom tower.
Oh no, it looks like with Zach.
Fight though.
Oh, with Zach gets taken out really quick. Serena, is she gonna have to put the ult? There it is. The ult comes out and she will survive with Chinchetto, but a beautiful kill on with Zach getting caught out there and really no punish. Lubu not close enough to that topside tower to put pressure and take
Will the French go for Abby? They're taking the Abyssal Dragon, getting a few stabs off when the Spaniards are outnumbered. That's gonna be a nice gold boon for the French to make their comeback happen. Final hit goes from Murad, and the Abyssal Dragon has been slain, but the Spaniards are going to try to get a little bit of counterattack in here. It's a 3v4 battle, but a lot of the French players are weakened. Jinor gets the first kill as Murad goes down, and it's going to be another exchange in the center as Violet is able to take out the big tank. Crushed has been defeated, sent to the depths.
Yes, he did not have his ultimate to be able to survive there at the end. Lubo chasing after Thane, but Gokaga is going to go after the Alvaro. Alvaro trying to do a lot of work, but with Zach gets the execution on Violet. Gotaga and Alvaro, who's going to be able to come up with this kill.
So close!
Gotaga takes the kill, but she will fall to the 3-man destruction in the middle from Chinchetto with Zach and Stacked. Are they going to go for the high ground tower? They're going to try, but they're not going to be able to get it as Murad is waiting.
Aggressive push from the Spaniards, but they got to do something to turn that around. You can't let the French team get that dragon and be able to push with it. They did a fantastic job of punishing. Even though they got a little bit of a gold and experience out of that, the French team might have suffered more than they benefited from that exchange, and it seems that with the 2 towers down in the center, the Spaniards have got their primary lane of attack.
Yes, Stacks and Karina just trying to take this bottom side tower, but here comes Moment. He's coming in with Vayne. They're both going to do it. Chinchetto trying to get to the fight. Is there out? They're going to get taken out by Witzak. No, Witzak is just going to go take out Moran. Stack survives with 1 life as Otaga tries to take care of business. Is Serena gonna survive? Yes. Chinchetto trying to come in.
And with that ult, Serena's got a huge shield to help her out. She decimated Arthur. Unfortunately for him, he's gonna be sleeping with the fishes tonight. It is a huge push from the Spaniard team on the bottom. All 5 heroes relatively healthy, and that second tier tower is in a lot of trouble as well. Only 1 defending hero from the French team, Murad on the back. He's not too tanky. He can dish out quite a bit of damage, but he definitely needs some help if that bottom's gonna stay up. Can Arthur and Thane get there in time?
I don't know. Witzak trying to kill Kenny, but it's not going to be able to do it. Oh! Kenny will survive. He will not die today.
Serena picks up a little bit more gold and finds some armor to equip to her hero. That's one of the greatest advantages of having that gold lead. You get better items which stack up more armor and offensive abilities for your character. The heroes working to get
this
that
Abyssal
equipment ready
Dragon
for
on the
them.
bottom. I think Talanis.
They going for it again?
Yeah, they might be going for this Abyssal Dragon on the bottom side. Butterfly going to come in to help out.
No major surprise, I suppose, but yeah, getting a little damage in there. You're right in chatting. They'll take the 3rd one. Oh, excuse me, that's only the 2nd one. Yep. I guess it's a 1-1 draw at this point. I thought that there had been a one earlier, but
yeah, 6K gold lead for the Spaniards. As this Sage Golem going to get taken out from L'Oreal, giving a little cooldown reduction and mana regen. Let's look at this rotation, though, from the Spaniards on the top side. River, as the French see it just in time and run away. And as you can see, whoa, Crest is going really deep into the enemy jungle. Will be able to survive, but this is what we saw a lot last week with the Spanish influencer team. They love to group up, and they are great at team fighting throughout the mid and late game. This is what wins them their games. They are so coordinated in these pushes, and they have no problem waiting in bushes for 5 minutes in order for the team to come in and walk in. And look at this, just waiting in this bush so patiently, knowing that no French will come in. They're gonna clear out the wave before their tower dies in the middle.
big pushes and sneaky bushes. The Spaniards have got this game under control so far. 4 towers down, and they've only lost 1 of their own. They're rolling back down the river into the mid and bot lane, taking a little bit more from their jungle as they prepare to defend against the stab out the center from the French team.
Yeah, just sitting in the middle here. It's kind of like a little dance, you know what I mean? Kind of like the dance that we saw in the pregame coming out in the game. Just sitting here in the middle lane. Nobody wants to overcommit here, you know, because they realize that one more team fight could be the difference between Spain pushing up the mid and winning the game, or France being able to get some kills and get right back.
Roman's going to commit here, though, and there's a big attack in the center. The team fight has started. Spaniards are sending in their big ultimate. Serena blocking most of the damage as Lubu gets 1 kill over on Murad, and there is no more DPS for the French team. Arthur goes down. Violet is in a lot of trouble. She's forced to retreat as Crest. Can he find maybe this recalling Thane?
No, I think Thane is going to live. But the unfortunate situation from the Spanish side is they did not realize that Violet had that revive on her. But they might be able to kill this Dark Slayer, get a little bit of advantage, and push towards the end of the game. But there it is. Serena going to go into Gataga. Is she going to be able to get the damage? No, that Crest unfortunately doesn't do that much damage unless he's in his ultimate form. And even then, you know, he kind of does, you know, tanky support-ish kind of DPS.
Blinking away and trying to defend this second tier tower in the center. They actually haven't even lost their first tower. It's kind of funny that the Spaniards are now going for the middle in the back door there. With Zach takes a lot of damage though, and it seems like Butterfly is not going to be able to help out. I think he might be in a little bit of trouble. He's realized he can't retreat north because there's a tower in his way, and Alvaro has suffered the same fate. They'll find their way around the bushes though, and unfortunate that they weren't really able to capitalize just yet on this Dark Slayer buff. It's a huge boon to get so much attack and health regeneration for 90 whole seconds. At least they didn't lose anything bad from this push, and they'll retain their gold lead, their tower lead, their kill lead. Spain is just ahead by every metric in this game so far in chat.
Yeah, about a 9,000 gold lead. And that's just going to continue to get more and more as they clear out their own jungle and keep on stealing the enemy's jungle as well, kind of keeping them down. You know, you want to make sure to starve them. You know, what I mean by starving them is continue to go into the enemy jungle and take all of their creeps before they come out. But this might be an Abyssal Dragon from the French side.
Whoa.
The Spaniards are caught out of position. And just like that, the French are going to chip away at this gold lead that the Spaniards had. I mean, with the Darkslayer buff, giving up an Abyssal Dragon, it's not something that usually is supposed to happen.
I think that the Spaniards are sensing blood in the top. They don't find the French team just quickly enough, though, and that was a good recall by them. They're going to lose this top tower, but they had been split up 2 and 3. Looks like the French team's actually going to get their first tower in the bot, or the second tower rather, in the bot lane. Illumia and Violet are really vulnerable there, but if there's no heroes to threaten them, then why not get some damage in?
Yeah, the Spaniards are trying to push on the top side with 5. They're rotating towards the middle now. Murad sees it, though, in their jungle. Butterfly trying to protect Violet and L'Oreal, but just like that, the French team takes 2 on the bottom as the Spaniards were only able to take 1 tower on the top side. Albro trying to hit Thane a little bit, but that's just a little tickle when it's tank on tank.
Thane pulls back. He can't dish out a whole lot of damage, but it's hard to catch him out of position and be able to finish him off. You need a massive amount of damage to knock that guy down, especially since he can just charge out of the way wherever he wants to go. Oh, this might be a great ambush, though. It's a 3-on-2 in the center. Kenny comes into support, though, and the French team has been able to hold back. But hold on, the Spaniards need some more help. Alvaro marches in. The ult from Serena, though, the onslaught as Butterfly gets kill off against Murad. This is actually a great position for the French to try to turn things around. A lot of damage getting dished out by the Spaniards, so as a double kill from Butterfly comes in. She has an excellent passive ability that allows her to get so much damage as she racks up kill after kill in this streak. The third one goes down, and it's a shutdown from Illumia as Jinnar is knocked apart.
Yeah, L'Oreal definitely took care of that. As Telonis takes the high ground, though. Thane caught out of position this time. Is he going to be able to die? I don't see how he survives. Oh, wow. He takes down Telonis before the death. With Zach is going to be able to clear that out. Are they going to go for the core finish?
Massive shield and so much damage stacking up. He pulls just out of core range to get the retarget off of him. Can't quite finish this thing off without having Kenny come harass him, though, and it looks like the core will stand this time. Zach takes a ton of damage as the stabs are coming in relentlessly from Kenny. Finishes off with Zach, and he pushes Serena back.
Yep, Kenny's going to continue to chase Serena, just
but
not
can he
enough.
finish her off?
No, he cannot. Oh, Kenny picked up a kill there, but right now the French team needs a really great team fight. On the Spanish side, though, Telonis really needs to get some armor penetration because this Thane just is not dying. As you saw there was 3 members of the Spanish team on him, and he just didn't take anything. You know, it was like we were watching in slow motion his health bar go down.
Just so close to finishing off the core as well. The red team's got blue balls. Couldn't quite knock it all the way down. And the Abyssal Dragon kill from the French might be the start of this turnaround. They've narrowed this gold advantage quite a bit. They're actually only behind by about 6K right now. And it's anyone's game as the mid to late stages of this match start to shape up. Minute 17 now. And if we can get a nice team fight in for the French, they might be able to kill the Darkslayer and get some more towers down. The Spaniards have not won it just yet.
Yeah, the key thing is you're going to have to try to take out Jinnar and Telonis in the back lane. Otherwise, you are definitely going to be in a uphill battle. Murad's definitely got to get one of those with his ultimate and snipe him. But here comes the fight. Thane going to get in. But Serena pops the ult, and oh wow, they're going in right now. Thane taking so much damage to the tank, gonna get taken out first. Kenny, oh no, he killed Kenny today as the Spanish team is gonna take it down one by one though.
The core is so low, but it holds up once again. Oh my god, he killed Kenny. but he's gonna be able to
The
keep
minions
core
killed
alive.
Kenny. Kenny was like, wait, did the chat say I didn't die?
Opportunity for a punish here. The Dark Slayer is going to respawn in 20 seconds, and it looks like the first red player is going to come back in about 22 seconds from now. Looks like before the Dark Slayer returns, so the French team has got to get a tower down. They're going for the top lane.
Oh no,
it's in
they
a lot
might
of
end the
trouble.
game.
That's a big minion push. Could the French team get it right here?
Oh no, Violet, what is Violet doing? She needs to be with her team right now.
Get in there quick.
They're not going to be able to take it in time, I don't think. Gotaga's taking
they
a
might
ton of
have it.
damage.
That's a lot of minions stacking up. He's going to be blocking for the minions as well. The targeting is good, and even though we've got Alvaro coming back to try to seal the deal, the French team has turned it around. The reverse.
What? How did that just happen? The Spanish influencers must be in shock. Huge minion wave at the most unfortunate timing for Spain allows the French team to push on the top and end the game. Arthur and L'Oreal were enough damage to take out the core, to take out the top high ground tower, and that's going to be a shocking turn of events in game number 1.
No surrender at all. Commander Taggart will be very proud of the French team here, marching toward victory, singing La Marseillaise as the one last core tower defense at the top gets knocked apart. The little tiny defense that was there to finally try to fight them off could not get the job done. I am shocked that the Spaniards dropped that game.
I can't believe it. They tried to go for the core at the end, just were not able to do it, not able to take it out. Their biggest mistake, in my opinion, was going after Thane, the heavy tank, at the end of that game, instead of going after the Squishy, the Violet, the Murad. Murad got off so much damage before he inevitably died to minions. I mean, they couldn't even take out Murad, one of the easiest the heroes to kill. The minions had to do it for him.
Well, that hurt a lot, but I know that the Spaniards have got some more fight left in them. Let's send it back to Renee to analyze that game.
We knew this will happen because we saw the slippers on the French side. It had to happen. It had to happen. Something like that. Incredible as always. Those internet celebrity matches, but we were totally surprised because I was sure the first push by the Spanish team. Okay, that's it. We were here like watching the screens like, okay. They're nearly done. Nope. Nice. Did not happen, but let's start from the beginning. First block for Spain. What happened after?
Spain took the game by the storm in the beginning. The early game was all them, literally just kill after kill after kill going in the Spanish favor, but in the mid to late game they couldn't just push anymore. They didn't split push, and they just kind of lost the long game.
Did the Spanish team learn from the mistakes on the non-pro game? Because we talked about that during the non-pro, they had all the kills, no objectives. And now they started again with having more kills than the French side, but then took over objectives as well. Is that like adaptability?
I guess they focused pretty much on the objectives for the Spanish team. So French team had was late in gold, so it led to an advantage in items, so they were winning every fight. But yeah, I guess it was part of a plan, and yeah, France planned to win this from the start.
Andreas, there was a Dark Slayer, there were Abyssal Dragons, there was a push on the core of the French side. Still, your country didn't come out on top.
Yeah, it was unexpected for us. At first I think that Spain could win the match because they was trying to destroy the final objective, but they make a big comeback. They kill us, a full team, and they win us. But what happened? I don't know what happened. Really rare, yeah.
I mean, they picked up fast. That they had that defense. They swept the whole team. And then they went the other way around. But then we saw Violet actually being a bit slow on the push in mid. Like top was all good. They're great timing. Everyone went to the core, and Violet was still like, yeah, having a timeout over here, chilling in the forest maybe.
Yeah, Violet was a little bit slow to react to what was happening around the map. I don't know if it just comes down to communication between the players or shot calling, but that game would have been for sure ending there. But a couple of players coming up in the end there definitely was something to keep our eye on.
We just saw that fight that was forced by the French team in a huge disadvantage. They didn't have ulti ready, crashed on the other side, had ulti ready, so they forced the fight, they could not win.
Yeah, the Murad did jump in without an ultimate, and this is something you generally don't want to do because Murad relies on not being able to be focused down. As we see the last great fight coming through from the French side. A great piece of managing there because they take a lot of players out and they save their core by just constantly stunning the players out. So I think it's a great play coming through from the French side.
I'm pretty sure even that core was sure about his death. Even the core was like, this is over, guys. I will just explode like I always do when I was... I think it was surprised.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like when you have this stack of 5 players just focusing the core, you don't expect, you know, a huge defense. Like you see the game going over and you just let it go. But the thing is, French never let it go. They just fight. The fight, yeah, they fight until the end, and it ended well. So
And not giving up was the tactic here. We see Stax MVP on the side of the Spanish 10.1 and Gotaga as one of the MVPs on the French side. We saw some plays where it was super risky. Like, he was so sure, like, I'm Gotaga, I can do this, I just jump in. And I saw you like looking at the screen like, no, don't even move. But he did, like he always went in there.
Yeah, Gotaga played really brave, and at some points it was even questionable to the point where he basically died because of how brave he was. But Gotaga was really a nuisance on the back line. He was constantly teleporting around doing the damage needed in order for them to actually stall the game out as long as they did, and in the end it did end up working for them.
First match surprisingly in favor of the French team, but there's another match coming up right after this break. the only show where co-ops are not sure if they will die or not. That's Arena of Valor, the non-pro tournament. Week 5, which means it's the last week for us over here in Poland before heading for the final. We just saw the French team taking the win from the Spaniards. They have been very close winning that, but it did not happen. So it's time for us to talk about what needs to be different on the next match to actually turn this around.
I think one of the big things is that Spain need to finish the game sooner. They can't let it go to a point, or they can't really go for greedy core push again. They could have just split pushed the game out because of the tier 3s being down for mid and bottom. So I think if they would have just split pushed this out, they would have actually won.
Yeah, I think they need to build more on this early gold advantage they got. Like pretty much like he said, they need to be more aggressive, take objectives and end the game before France can make a comeback.
Well, in my point of view, I think that maybe it's something not to change heroes. Maybe it's something about luck, because it was a really rare final. It could win Spain, but finally win, in this case, France. So maybe in this match, it will be it will change the result, so we will see.
I mean, this match was under 20 minutes, and we know when internet celebrities, influencers are playing over here in the arena that we can easily go for more than 20 minutes, 30 if necessary, whatever comes out. Will we have another long match, or will it be a short one because someone tries to close this out?
I think French side can maybe become overconfident now that they've brought the game back from brink of death there, basically. So I think the French side could be a little bit too confident here, and that might come back to bite them.
If we keep going at that rate that we just did in last match, I'm pretty sure two guys will lose their voice very early. That's Woody and then Chetan.
I almost lost my voice after that last game. Unbelievable comeback by the French side. And I think it all went wrong. Spanish side, amazing team play, but they just didn't take the objectives during the late game. I mean, as you saw, the last 2 Abyssal Dragons went to the French side, keeping them into the game, allowing them to just be able to survive with the sliver of core life.
I think they figured that they didn't even need to go for it anymore since they were already maxed out, but denying your opponents the opportunity to grab that is pretty important. We've got the pick ban process started here, though. The 2 characters that have been banned are Illumia and Crest. We saw Crest riding the wave to victory last time from Serena. She's going to have to pick a bit different take this time.
Yeah, L'Oreal taking off the
L'Oreal,
field.
excuse me.
Yeah, Butterfly is going to be the first pick from Zach, and we've seen him carry on that champion time and time again, and he's once again going to be able to get his comfort pick.
Jannar will be the first pick from Gotaga, and more damage as Zeratul goes back to Violet.
Yep, looks like they're going to have a Jannar, a Violet composition. Jannar is going to be in the middle lane. As the carry, it's going to be a Zerathor. Let's see how the Spanish side wants to answer that. Ooh.
A different hero, but dominant nonetheless. Grak has had a lot of play in the earlier match, where we saw the Spaniards getting lots of hooks off. Stax is going to go for Vera, the Enchantress.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get Thane again. I mean, Thane? Ooh. And is he going to lock in the Batman? No.
I'm Batman.
Batman and Arthur.
Of course he gets the lock. There he goes, fighting for justice. That duo is going to be able to dish out a lot of DPS.
Yep, they took the Arthur away, I guess, from Alvaro, doing a little scouting there, knowing that Alvaro's favorite champion is Arthur. Get the Arthur early, and then now, last pick Kenny can pick up his Thane, because that's not really a high priority pick for, the Spanish side, and that is doing your homework on these teams, knowing that you were able to, let Thane go, pick it up in the end, and then swap it.
I think Alvaro's happy to switch over to Ormar, though. He's been playing him quite a bit. Chincheto, though, gets his favorite pick, Telanas, on the Spanish team. The last pick over here on the right side, as you said earlier, was Thane, kind of a generic tank. He's seen quite a decent bit of play. He's pretty easy to pick up if you are unfamiliar with tanks in general. So expect Snackout to be able to hold his own, if not necessarily push far ahead for the victory.
Yeah, he'll be able to hold the line, and the key thing for the Spanish side is do not kill the tank first. Oh, especially when you're diving for a core. It lives for a long time. They don't have the Murad to really punish them, when you're going after a tank, but you know, they have the Grak hook, which is going to be very, very vital in this matchup. Like we saw in the online, games that happened today, Grak was the MVP, hooking left and right. Hopefully we don't see that in this matchup, Woody.
Ideal hook target, I think, has got to be Violet. Alternatively, going for Jannar would not be a bad hit, but of course you do not want to pull the tank. Just like you said, he can take a lot of damage, and if you hook a tank right into the center of your team, that can often draw the fire that your opponents need. Even if they lose their tank, they can get 4 heroes all focused right on your soft underbelly, and that can mean the end.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to take care of Arthur. Arthur will just do that AoE. Your whole entire team all of a sudden is now at half life, and you haven't done anything yet. So it's going to be very interesting to see who they do pull. I mean, Thane, you don't want a huge heavy tank coming in there, just jumping all over you and just destroying your team with that AoE ultimate. Or Arthur, they are going to have to somehow get, Kataga, or, I mean, you could also get the Batman, as well. But Violet's going to be the high priority target. Let's take a look at the teams here. The Spanish side with Zach is going to be on Butterfly, Stax on Vera, Serena on Grak, Alvaro 845 on Omar, and Chinchetto on Tilanas.
Lined up on the other side, of course, is Jannar from Gotaga. Violet has been picked by Zerator, Arthur from Moma, Thane from Master Snaku, and the Batman at the very end from Kenny. He likes playing PUBG and Fortnite. He's a Twitch streamer, so I definitely expect him to be a survivor in this match. He's going to be jungling hard and trying to get the kill here and there, but he better not get too aggressive, because that can be the downfall for a roaming type player like Batman.
Yeah, once again, they take, this time though, Kenny on a early game champion, instead of like a Murad who's kind of, farms up and then dominates towards, the early to mid game. It really needs kills and a lot of farm. Batman, on the other hand, definitely sneaks in the shadows with that ultimate, comes out, pops out, maybe get a kill early for the French side, because they saw the Spanish controlled the first game from the beginning.
Master Snackow, a Twitch partner, likes to stream Uncharted. It's clear from his recent foray into the opposing jungle, trying to chart the map out there. But Zerator making the first big stab in, and without a tank to support, Violet's taking a ton of damage. Nice early connection from Serena. Can't quite get the Grak hook in there just yet, reaching level 2. But that would be a wonderful connection. And it's a relatively poor matchup in the bottom lane for the French team, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you got to always be weary about Serena's hook. Is she going to go in for the hook? No. Just going to sit in the bush.
Dangerous positioning in that bush. You really need to be providing support for your ADC here. Chinchetto trying to get a few stabs off. On the other hand, though, if you're able to get a hook way far back into your side of the base, letting Chinchetto whittle down Violet until she's weak, that could be the key play that you need there. Does Alvaro get the steal? I think
to be determined on that one. Serena and
he did. He got it.
Chinchetto.
Alvaro stole the sight orb from that owl in the center there, but it's a 3v2 in the bottom, and the French team looks like they need to be pulling back. Hold on, Alvaro's going to get punished. They said, you want to take our sight orb, we're going to push you back to your tower, buckaroo.
But just like that, Witzak with the gank is going to take care of business on the bottom, as Snaku is going to get taken out. Thane might be tanky, but he's not tanky this early in the matchup. The only hero still level 2.
The Master has met his match. In the center, 2 red players from Team France, Gotaga and Kenny. It looks like Kenny's going to pull back and get back into the jungle. He is aware of that sight that the Spanish team has, though. He's got to be careful in the center here. With Zach going in for a stab against Gotaga. Stacking on top, but in a lot of trouble in this. She goes down. Batman for the killing blow, and he goes in against with Zach as well. Double kill.
Kenny doing the work. He is not dying today. He's doing the killing on Batman. That's why you pick Batman, for that early game advantage. You need to get the kills early with Batman, especially with his ultimate, scour across the map, and he is doing exactly what he needs to do, and they might be going for an early Abyssal Dragon in this match.
Indeed, it appears that they are all 5 heroes moving toward Abby, and the Dragon's just about to go down. Meanwhile, top lane Ormar is not committing to this minion push here. Could have gotten a little bit of damage off, but I think that he's more interested in trying to farm and get a little bit more experience, taking out the owl up there with Zach as well. Going to be farming up on the jungle.
Yeah, Zerator is going to run away and survive, but Snaku's kind of caught out of position here. If Serena gets this hook, Snaku is going to be a snack for dinner. He survived!
He survived
that passive! Oh no, as Wow, Snaku!
Didn't even need to charge out. That's one of his greatest abilities, is just being able to get out of danger. But that passive ability, whenever he goes down below, I think it's about a quarter of his hit points, he starts to regenerate them back very quickly. And without any burst damage on the bottom, Spain just missed out on a kill.
Yeah, Grak still looking very, very hungry in that bottom lane. Just was not able to take care of that kill with Zach sitting in the bush. Is this going to be a huge play? Stacks. Ooh.
No, not quite this time. Cautious Jannar might have Butterfly moving in against him though, but little does Zach know that Batman and Arthur are up on the top to help out. And Jannar has got a lot of backups with...
Oh no, Gotaga and Kenny, they're going to be able to survive as well. Beautiful rotations from the French side. Took care of the Abyssal Dragon. Now the Spirit Sentinel, they have the mid river in their control. Beautiful rotation. Serena just misses the hook.
Attempted hook, and a good job at that.
Oh, but look at Kenny.
Didn't get the connection there. Ooh, yeah, sneaky Kenny.
Sneaky, sneaky. Oh wow, Gotaga's coming down as well. This is going to be huge. This might be a tower dive on the bottom, but they don't have any minions. Gotaga and Kenny are going to come in. There goes Telanus. Is Serena going to fall as well? You better believe. As Serena falls, but Zach and Stacks a little bit late to the party. Stacks is going to be caught out here. Gotaga and Batman are going to take care of business with Zach trying to kill Gotaga, but it's not going to be enough. Kenny continuing to go in. Zerator and Snaku as well. Are they going to peel back? Yes, they are. With Zach will survive, but his red buff will fall as the Might Golem goes down.
Into their opposing team's jungle, the French players are performing so well early game, and it's a stunning turnaround from how they were faring in the last matchup. They just lined him up and knocked him down in chat, and the Spaniards didn't seem to have that head on their shoulders.
No, and look at this. They are even confident to take care of the Abyssal Dragon by himself. If Kenny's able to take this, Spain's going to be in really big trouble, and they don't even have any vision on it.
Looks like that is going to be a free dragon for the French team, and they've got about 2,500 gold to their name. No towers have gone down yet anywhere on the battlefield, but the Spanish top tower is not looking too strong. Bottom lane is also taking a little bit of pokes and prods here, while they haven't managed to hardly get any damage off of the French.
Yeah, no, and Batman has just been controlling the entire field. Exactly what Batman wants to do. Get that early game advantage for your team. Serena, is she gonna go in for a hook? No, Chinchetto and Serena playing kind of passive in this bottom lane, but there it is. Serena is gonna get the ultimate down, but Thane just gets away.
The melee range hook from Serena just saying, hey, you're mine, better stay here.
Come back to me. Come back to me. Baby, come back. Moment.
We're gonna have a talent show later for the talent here, I hope.
Oh, I know, right? Who's got the best singing voice?
Get to hear that rendition again. Moment on the top, though, taking a little bit of damage from the tower as they dive in against Alvaro. A super aggressive move from the French team, but they get punished. No!
Not what you want to have happen. You don't want to. You don't want a three-man dive and lose a member.
Poor Alvaro, he keeps on getting beaten up on the top. Guy can't catch a break. Where is with Zach when you need him? I thought he's the lieutenant of Team Queso.
I guess not today, as Janor not going to be able to take it down. There's with Zach on the top lane. Janor going to try to kill this tower. No!
Get rid of that minion! Just in time, the top tower has got a tiny bit of health left.
Yep, the siege minion just wasn't able to siege down the tower in time. Batman still roaming around, going to go to his red, get that buff. Going to give him a little bit of presence on the map.
Oh, minion about to get the final killing blow. No. Oh, he gets it after all. Execution as the top tower goes down to the siege engine, and the blue team is forced to pull back. The Spaniards have finally regrouped, but they need to kill an objective, and just as the Abyssal Dragon's about to respawn, looks like Batman's gonna go solo him again.
Yeah, it looks like the same thing is happening as in game number one. France is just controlling the objectives, but here's a beautiful hook from Serena. There's the ultimate. Chinchetto gonna take down one. Fiend gonna go in. Kenny gonna try to come in the back lane, but he just does not have enough health. Can Chinchetto live? Yes, he can. Grak coming in for the kill here on Kenny. And I killed Kenny as Chinchetto making the plays in the bottom.
El Doctor de Culología is kicking ass after all. Getting a few hits off in the bottom. Be careful here. Gotaga hiding in the bushes. Could jump out at any moment, but I don't think that would be a very good team fight.
Oh, no.
Oh,
with Zach sees it. Is Serena going to survive?
Trouble. The tank goes down, and Thane is on the march to victory with Zack in a lot of trouble. Can he get the kill here? No! If he had been able to finish off Snaku, that would have been a great boon to his defense, gaining a shield and an additional attack damage on top, but that loss means that Teleanis will fall as well. Jannar gets the kill on that, and the French team are on the path to victory.
Yeah, just taking down one at a time here. The Spanish is just falling, and this might be a bottom side tower for the French team. And there it is. Look at this gold advantage now, almost at 4K. And France is going for another Abyssal Dragon. This might be the third Abyssal Dragon they take at 9 minutes, and they are just putting on a clinic on how to rotate towards these dragons.
Moving back toward the center now, we've got Jinnar and Arthur, another perilous combo. The duo might be able to get that middle tower down. No, they're going actually for the top. Gonna maybe go farm the Spirit Sentinel instead. And that's just testament to their know-how of the game, their knowledge. They don't need to get the towers down if they can control the objectives in the middle and deny Spain the opportunity to make a comeback on the gold and on the experience. I think they are. And Chad, what's happening?
A 9-minute Darkslayer. Kenny coming in as well. The Spanish team is sitting in the middle. Oh no, they got wind of this. Are they gonna be able to get there in time? Darkslayer gets taken out by Batman, but Kenny! Oh no, Kenny falls to the Grak hook, but they're still gonna need to get a little bit more kills to make this worth it. The Darkslayer going over to the French side. Can Serena get one more hook?
French team split up, and it looks like that they're gonna pull back. Oh!
Zerator just survives.
Crucial miss, and unfortunately, for the Spanish team, they're going to need a lot of damage to be able to turn this thing around. The Darkslayer buff is absolutely dominant for the French team, and even if they're down a player, that is such a big buff that they might be able to hold on here. In the middle, though, that one-player disadvantage lets Spain get their first tower.
Yeah, they do not want to engage yet, but this might be a big push. Kenny coming in from the back. Are they going to start a fight here? That's the question.
Uh-oh. Alvaro in trouble again. No, get out of there! Oh, the retreat is good this time. Thank goodness for Alvaro.
Alvaro is going to survive. And Kenny
in the center.
Zerator coming out. Cinchetto just lives. Serena gonna get annihilated by that Thane Opa. Kenny is gonna get taken out. Cinchetto doing a ton of work. Butterfly coming in on with Zack. Is he gonna be able to clean it up? The French, I don't know.
Couldn't finish off the tower, though. It doesn't have hardly any health at all, and it got a ton of damage off against the French attackers. That's the only thing that kept Spain in that fight, and it looks like that they understand the importance of defending it there. Ormar going on to the center. Alvaro gets a little bit of aggression in there. Support from Stacks, but it might be a 2v3 fight here if they choose to commit.
Yeah, Batman now has a lot of armor pierce on him with that item, so he's definitely going to be taking out with Zack and any tank that tries to stand in his way. With Zack getting a little bit of armor, but you know, Kenny just goes with that hard counter on the item, and the Spirit Sentinel once again being picked up by the French. Is Kenny going for the Abyssal Dragon?
I think he is.
Oh my goodness.
Fearless Kenny! Just been knocking them down as soon as Abby can get back up. Poor Dragon. But it's going to be a 5v4 unless the French team pulls back. That might be a dangerous team fight for them. Looks like they recognize that there's no need to engage just yet.
Yeah, and Batman once again is going to take the 4th Abyssal Dragon. That's what, their 7th dragon in total now combined? I think they got 3 or 4 Spirit Sentinels as well. Oh no. Serena?
It's a 5v2 on top. The tower's going to be helping out the French team, but it's not going to be there for long. Taking a ton of damage, and there hasn't been hardly any counterattack from the French team whatsoever. It's a big ult as they get pulled in by Grak. They've lost their tower, and the Spaniards have finally got the turnaround here. An excellent team fight, even as they take a little stab in the middle from Jannar.
Yeah, Jannar's going to take this middle side tower. Batman's going to take the bottom, and as the Spanish team is retreating, I don't know if this was worth it. They're going to lose 2 towers here for the price of 1. They're going to continue to push the top side lane. Okay, it kind of they kind of scared me.
There, yeah,
they kind of scared me by backing. I was like, take at least the top before you back.
They might be going for the core. They might be trying to pull off the same counter that the French got in the first game. There's 3 of them that have just destroyed the top team tower. They don't have a whole lot of minions helping them out there, and Kenny's going to come back on defense, but it's a 3v1 fight, and is that a good engagement at all? Not looking likely as Batman gets taken down. The mid lane battle as well is looking pretty bad for the French team. 2v1 is with Zack and Serena get the finishing blow, but that core is going to hold up on top.
Oh no, the French team going to take down the Spaniards on retreat. They still are ahead by 3,000 gold, so still looking good, even though they don't have their top high ground tower. Not that big of a deal. Jannar almost took the entire middle high ground for the French side. So let's see, in 28 seconds, I mean, I expect Batman to be on that Abyssal Dragon in like 22 seconds. I expect him to beeline right when he revives, going right for that Abyssal Dragon. I would not expect anything less as they take the Spirit Sentinel. Once again, controlling all of the objectives. And look at this.
There
look
he
at
goes.
this beeline from Kenny.
Straight to the dragon, knows exactly what is on his mind. And although the French still have an advantage in this game, Spain definitely just closed the gap by a little bit. They've opened up that back door in the top lane. That's kind of the only opportunity that they have to go straight for the core, though. Even the tier 2 tower is still up in the mid and the bot. But you were right in chatting. Batman going for the Abyssal Dragon once again. And Spain apparently has not learned their lesson on getting that key objective down.
No, they need to really be watching the timers, as this is going to be the 5th Abyssal Dragon, uncontested, mind you, picked up by the French squad. And that's the only reason why they have such a big gold advantage. So much gold coming in, so much experience from all those Abyssal Dragons. As you can see, I mean, their levels are pretty much the same, and they're down by so much.
Serena pushing mid, gets the great hook on the center, defeating Violet. The ADC is out from France, and they may not have any DPS to finish off this big push from Spain in the middle. That tower is not looking healthy at all, and the French team is on retreat.
Yeah, this is where Batman really falls off in the game. But oh, the crack hook misses. Are they going to be able to get the mid-high ground tower? Alvaro going in, going to do a smash. But looking like they're a little back off.
I'm going to smash it. Smush!
The Omar smash. Oh, another pull from Serena on Shaku. Gonna be getting out in time, but look at that ultimate from Brack, pulling the entire team.
Wow, what a turnaround. Lots of damage coming out from the French, though. They have managed to be able to repel the Spanish invaders. It's still a 3-3, though, and on retreat, the Spaniards are firing away. Chinchetto trying to get a little bit of damage out there, but it looks like with Zach, it's going to be stuck, and he is left high and dry.
Yeah, in 14 seconds, I mean, this Darkslayer is going to be up soon, and I wouldn't put it past me that Kenny goes right to that in 20 seconds when he survives as the Spanish side.
Very aggressive play, though. There's still 2 heroes on the Spanish team that are left alive. You can see that they're going to be able to push them back in the mid. Now's the time to go for the Darkslayer if they want him.
Yeah, they got to go for the Dragon to get this health regen so they, get topped off here. They're kind of a little low.
Looks like they are going for him after all. But hold on, Serena might have a chance to see this. Puts the hook into Moment, but I guess it's
Darkslayer's butt.
Yeah.
The Darkslayer, that cool holiday on your team. I mean, they like the butt. I mean, geez, Serena, you're a girl.
Hey, maybe she likes what she sees, man.
Hey, gotta put it somewhere. Okay, Stacks and Chinchetto.
Gotta put it somewhere. Might as well be the butt.
Stacks and Chinchetto in the middle side, taken down. The jungle oh, the Darkslayer's still up here. Oh, are the Spanish side gonna just dance around this butterfly and making her way to the top side? Both teams got to dance around because I think this next Darkslayer will be the game. I mean, you're at a moment where that 20%, AD and AP attack damage and ability power are going to be huge, but the Spanish side are going to take it. They're out of position. Look at this. Batman's at the Abyssal Dragon.
As always.
As always. And I think the Spanish knew that he was going to go there again. And that might be the reason why they lose.
Aggressive play, but hey, at least they don't have to worry about the backdoor this time. They took a big hit, rather the non-pro team did when they went for the Darkslayer rather than defending their core. But I think that they're happy about that pickup there. The 90-second damage and health regeneration buff is going to make their team fight here definitely in their favor. But with Zach a little bit out of position, got to hang on and wait for your tank to get in there.
You got to get
Serena
the
is still a little bit far behind, yeah.
Yeah, Serena needs to be the one to hook. If they get one hook, I think this game might be over just then and there.
One good hook is all it takes. A serene hit from Serena. Candy going for the Spirit Sentinel up top, though. Seems confident that there's not going to be any team fight at all. Brack in the center, not with the rest of her team. Maybe trying to bait out something.
Look at the Dragon. 6 Abyssal Dragons for the French side. Unbelievable. But we're getting to the point of the game where almost everybody's maxed.
Yeah.
Not yet, but very, very close. And maybe another 3 minutes into this match, everybody's going to have max items. So every little bit is important, and this Darkslayer buff needs to be...
The French team is split up, but all of the Spaniards are going top. They might have a chance to cut them in half. Snacko on the top lane is going to take a little bit of damage here as Butterfly gets a stab in there, but it looks like they will collapse back into the team on the right. Defending their mid tower now.
They need to take down this middle high ground tower. Chinchetto is going to be able to snipe it down with the long range.
Can't finish it off though. One more hit, Chinchetto, but pushed back. Hold on, this could be a huge team fight though. France is moving in hard with Zach retreats though, and it looks like this is going to be a difficult engagement even with the Dark Slayer buff. Vera goes down first as Arthur gets a huge ult off against Dragotaga in the back, moving around, trying to get a stab, but Batman gets the next kill. Teleatis has been defeated, and even with that Dark Slayer buff, what can Spain do in Chatton?
Oh no, the Dark Slayer buff just fell off right before this fight started. An unfortunate series of events. Zerator trying to get away. Serena's the only one left for Spain, and she gets the ult off. Is Zerator gonna fall? Oh, it will. She'll get revived. She'll get revived though. This is not over yet. This might be a push into the Nexus. They have 25 seconds.
Get out of there!
20 seconds, 17.
They still have all their high ground towers, though. Spain might just be able to hold on here. It looks like France has not put together a big push just yet. And with that, I think Spain's saving grace was that big attack at the end from Serena, just stalling long enough and getting enough damage in there to prevent France from being able to put that big push together. I think that mid tower is going to go down, but with Stacks coming back and Chinchetto and Alvaro not far behind, I think the core is still safe.
Yeah, the core is safe, but in 5 seconds, this Abyssal Dragon isn't going to be safe from Batman.
I think the Abyssal Dragon is going to like therapy classes now, being like, there's someone who stalks me in the night. I don't know his name, but he always comes with a batarang.
No, I'm always in jail. I'm always in the Arcade Asylum. Oh my goodness. Batman. Oh no, he's not going right for it this time. He kind of danced around.
Who took Kenny's phone? Come on, fess up.
Oh man, I think they swapped a little bit. They said, Kenny, you can't keep on going for the Abyssal Dragon every time. Oh, but it looks like he's going for it.
Oh no, gonna pull back and push the minion wave. Not a bad idea here. The minions get very powerful in the late game. They're gonna be able to tear down a tower on their own if left unchecked. Batman clearing that wave out kind of equalizes the bottom for the red team.
The equalizer. Can Serena get a hook? That's the million-dollar question. Zerator's kind of caught out here.
Uh-oh. Serena going super aggressive right onto the mid, finishes the tower off. I guess there's not going to be any defense this time for the French team. A little too worried about the might of the Spaniards, all 5 of them in the center.
Look at this. The Spaniards might get their first Abyssal Dragon of the game at 21 minutes. The 7th dragon to fall, and at not even 21 minutes, Spain finally gets their first
heralding the turnaround, perhaps? Kenny, of course, is stealth, but no, he's going to engage in the 2v1. Super aggressive move from Batman at the bottom as Chinchetto and Alvaro will be able to knock him down. It's now a 5v4 in the Spaniards' favor.
Yeah, this might be the push that Spain needs. Snaku is getting snacked on right now, but they're going to just go.
Pull back?
Pull back?
They're out. If they're out in the bottom, then that tower is going to be in a lot of trouble. It's a big offensive advantage for the Spaniards if they can finish off that final high ground tower. And as you've seen in past matches, they work so well in team fights. If France doesn't get a chance to stab down the middle and get behind their back, the Spaniards might be able to take this after all, even though they've been down in gold, down in kills, and down in Abyssal Dragons for the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, that was very interesting. I guess they didn't want to go after the tank there, maybe for the back end, but they already got down the Batman, so there was no assassin to really pick off their squishies on the back side. So Raider does have a revive back up again.
Keep those squishies safe.
Squishies. Alvaro with Zach and Stacks pushing on the top end lane.
This might be the over-aggressive attack that got Spanish in trouble the last game. They're going in hard against the core. The French team is defending. There's no Dark Slayer buff for the Spaniards, though. I think they make a good call to retreat.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's 3 revives on the French side, but Gotaga has to use his talent. Eliminated immediately. Alvaro going down as well. Serena is going to be the one to follow with Zach. Is going to die as the revives come in for the French team. They're not dead yet. Chinchetto is running for his life, but it doesn't matter. He's going to get taken out, and they have 40 seconds to end this game down the middle.
A 3v0. The French march to victory in the center as they are uncontested now by Team Spain. Only saving grace for Spain right now is the fact that they want many minions on this French side. They're going to be able to wipe out what little defense remains, though, and at level 15, this core is not going to provide too much difficulty for them. Zerator can deal out a ton of damage, and with Snack out tanking, it looks like this core is finished in Chatton.
Yeah, 5 seconds left before Stax gets up, but Zerator and Snacku are going to be able to take it out. Once again, France takes the victory towards the end on the core dive. Unbelievable gameplay from the French side, and the Spanish side just kept on letting them take the Abyssal Dragons the entire game, and I think that was the highlight of the match. The Spanish, kind of were in a good position all game, besides the fact that they kept on giving away Abyssal Dragon after Abyssal Dragon, and that was their downfall. Kenny, MVP, getting all those dragons.
The farming king. Go set him up on Stardew Valley, because he could certainly make a killing. Kenny was tearing down those Abyssal Dragons all game long and got so much experience in gold for his team. The fact that he was able to set that up made pretty much every team fight a breeze for the French team. And with that, we've got the conclusion of this best-of-3 series. The Spaniards looked dominant in that first game, but got back-ended. And then in the second game, it was relatively even. It almost actually turned out being the Spaniards who got the turnaround, but couldn't happen that time. And Chatton, it's been a pleasure casting with you once again, my friend.
Likewise, Woody.
Let's send it back to the main desk. Renee, wrap it up for us.
Thanks, guys. The Abyssal Knight on Kenny. He probably saw the international and thought, like, look, they got 0.3 dragons per game, 0.7 dragons per game. All the statistics they showed him was like, no, I can do 6 per game. No worries. We got all the gold, but since Batman always pays the bills, he was like, I need to get all of them. Was that the deciding factor?
That could have been it for sure, but I think that the French side really did a good job at actually just holding on with their dear life once again. From that mid game, Spanish side looked strong, but the French just stalled it out till the late game and then came back into it.
I love the hooks done by the Spanish team. They've been amazing for an engagement, but it didn't really pay off as soon as we had those big clashes with everyone in there. What was wrong?
The thing is, I guess they picked Grak to hook, precise targets, like Gotaga playing Ginar or this Zerator playing Violet. But when you enter the late game, Violet and Ginar are getting, those resistance items, those tanky items. So even if you grab them, they're gonna resist your burst and get out of the fights, and Over is gonna clash the fights, and that's what we saw from the 2 last fights.
And Ramirez, that must be a heartbreaking moment for you.
Yeah.
The whole game here, right?
Yeah. It's too hard for me and for Spain too. It will be a very bad comeback to my home. It will be difficult for us, but it was a close final, and in this match. And yeah, maybe the difference for win this match will be maybe the 2 team fights that Spain lost, and it was the big point of the victory maybe.
To me, it looked a bit like there were those small details that went wrong. For example, Spain having the Dark Slayer, not really turning it into any advantage. Then we saw Tilanas full alive, 3 low on the side of the French team, and not turning around to get the kill while one of the teammates being attacked.
Yeah, that definitely is true. They could have done a little bit better job at helping their teammates out, just taking the fights a little bit longer, because the Talana's range is one of the key factors on why you pick her. So I think that's definitely true, that they could have fought a little bit longer in some of these engagements, but at the same time, they did an incredible job actually at sticking around, because the early game didn't go their way at all, and they just stalled it out into mid game where they were dominant, but unfortunately they weren't able to close it out in the late game.
That we just saw one great hook by Serena and another one right on the next highlight, because there were so many good hooks. But I've written down 20 minutes until the first Abyssal was Spain. Kenny was basically like, he knew every single centimeter of that Abyssal Dragon already, and then Spain was like, did you see that? It seems to be fun, because Kenny's always going there. Maybe we should join in.
Yeah, definitely. They needed some gold going their way, as well as the objective control coming through for these teams definitely has to be an important factor in the games. And I think it was great for them to take it away from Kenny, but in the end, I think they were already at a point where both of the teams were 6-slotted, so it didn't make that huge of a difference.
Could have been a bit faster if Kenny would have not gone for that Abyssal Dragon that often.
Yes and no, because the gold that you get from Abyssal Dragon definitely helps your team as well as the experience that comes through from it. So I think definitely at some point it could have been faster with few more ganks, few better team fights, but at the same time, in the long run, it did work out for them.
Yeah, I would say the same, but the thing is, Batman was focusing on early ganks. We saw him going for top lane and mid lane early on the game, and then building gold advantage going for all those objectives, the Spirit Sentinel and the Dragon. But yeah, at a professional level, when you go higher, I bet Batman can be used for mid-game team fights, yeah, more than late game.
And Dermos, you should join the team. They need help.
I could try. I would like to try it, but let's see in the future if I can.
Okay, if there's another NPT, then we might see you on the lineup. Who knows?
Yeah.
But with this now, we know that it changed a bit on the standings. Not who's going to DreamHack, but it changes who's playing Germany. Because we know all the teams were like, yeah, it's not really important anymore as long as we qualify, but we don't want to play Germany in the first round. So who's playing Germany now?
Spanish side is going to go up against Germany. It's an unfortunate matchup because the German side and the non-pro side have looked so dominant. They haven't dropped a single series in this tournament on the non-pro side. They've dropped a few games here and there, but in a big overall perspective of things, Germany's looked so dominant, and it's going to be definitely a hard match going up against them.
That's true. Impressive gameplays then at DreamHack. We see it 18-25 MVP for Cinchetto on Talanas. I really like that, like the damage on Talanas at late game was horrendous. There were so many chances, like if they would just keep her alive another second, they might have turned every fighter out. Is that just a thing of Talanas? Like, is that the right hero for bringing all the light damage?
Yeah, the range that you get from Talanas is definitely one of the key factors on why Talanas is such an effective hero, as you can stay out of range of the enemy initiation. Unfortunately, Kenny was always there, up with him, trying to fight the backline. So I think Talanas had a hard work day, but at the end, Talanas does have the huge range to influence these fights, and we saw her consistently be alive as the last member of the Spanish side. So I think Talanas played a really good game, all things considered.
We just saw France taking 2 wins over here at the Week 5. The only team that ever did that was Team Germany in our NPT, and with this being Week 5, it also means the last time for us, at least in Katowice, to be at this desk and to do all of that together. So if you want to touch the desk one last time,
Great.
I would like to take it home, but it's a bit big for hand luggage. I have to say that. I like the desk, but I fear I might not get it done. Lufthansa will not be happy about if I take that back home. But you know what's coming up next? It's the interview with the influencers, and they will tell us what really happened in the game. Paula, take it away.
Thank you so much, Renee. It's a pleasure to finally say that Week 5 of the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament is finally over. And next week, we know exactly who is going to be competing for this wonderful trophy, as well as $100,000. But before we get a bit more into detail with that, let me invite 2 of our influencers, one from each team, onto the stage to have a little chat. We have Alvaro from Spain and Zerator from France. Welcome, guys. That was an extremely exciting best of 3, especially considering the way some of that action happened, especially the first map. What happened with that comeback?
Yeah, you mean considering how bad we are, I think. Well, Goraga and Kenny did an insanely job, so yeah, we were behind them and just, yeah, okay, do the job, and we won. That was cool.
Okay, so you feel like it was a bit of a story of Kenny. From your perspective of Alvaro, how did it go for you guys? Because it seemed like when you were getting into those team fights and the engagements, it always ended up going in favor of France, almost always.
Yeah, I mean, in the first match, we were ahead and we just wanted to end, and we didn't calculate well. So I mean, the whole team just died, and we lost the game in just one team fight.
Yeah. Did you, at that moment, Zerator, think that the match was over? Because if I'm not mistaken, the base, the Nexus point, actually had maybe just 5%, 10%.
Yeah, but you know, in MOBA we have a thing which is called Greedy's Feed, and I think it was the best illustrations with the Team Spain, and yeah, it was unlucky for them, but yeah, lucky for us.
Alvaro, what do you think that you guys could have done differently to take out the French adversaries that you went up against?
Yeah, probably just try to wait the enemy in the jungle, because at team fights we were above. I mean, we were superior and stronger, but we wanted to fight, and we did fight even behind in the tower, and that was a mistake.
Final thoughts then, guys. How has it been to be a part of the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament experience?
Well, it was a really good surprise for me. I didn't expect anything, but it was really fun, and I had a great time with my teammates. It was the first time I competed in MOBA with them, so yeah, it was really cool.
And Alvaro, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it has been an amazing experience, and I'm happy because the Spanish team will fly to DreamHack, so they will have the chance to win this tournament, this non-pro tournament, so I'm really happy.
Exactly, and talking about that, what does it mean to you guys to be able to help with the opportunities that you are giving these non-pro players who now have a chance to compete for $100,000 and potentially, who knows, go on and make this a career?
Well, I know they will pick up our strategy. I think we proved that we are the best, so yeah, maybe this will help them.
And Alvaro, what about you?
Yeah, I really expect that the Spanish guys can make a good tournament in DreamHack, and I hope they pick the chance to become a professional of Arena of Valor.
All right, well guys, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Now, let's take a look at exactly where everything stands. As you can see on screen, it's Germany at the top with 18 points. Second, it's France on 15. Now, third and fourth, we have two teams drawing on 9. That's Spain and Italy. Because of Italy having their non-pro team their team did better than Spain's, they will be getting the more preferential seeding going into DreamHack. And so the top 4 is Germany, France, Italy, and then Spain. Underneath that, at the very bottom, the two teams not going to DreamHack are Sweden and the UK, drawing on 6. It's been an amazing 5 weeks, and for the studio portion of things, everything is over. But next week, DreamHack Winter, that is where the real clash begins, and we can see who will become the champion of the Arena of Valor non-pro tournament. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do not forget about our giveaways going on. We have 3 iPhone 8s, 1 iPhone X. All the details can be found on screen and across our social medias. One other special treat for all of you as well. If you are thirsting for some more Arena of Valor action, the Arena of Valor International Championship is currently going on in Seoul, and the finals will be taking place at 6 AM CET. So if you have an early start or a late night, you can catch that. And trust me, you want to do it. If you thought this production was fantastic and a pleasure to watch, check out that International World Championship, because it will absolutely blow your mind. Arena of Valor has so much to offer, and getting into it now, you know, anything can happen. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at DreamHack next week.